School officials in San Bernardino say the threat is over after an apparent domestic dispute comes to a deadly end in a classroom. Fox's Gernal Scott has more live.
Pam, 2 people are dead, 2 elementary school students shot in an apparent domestic incident. The threat at the North Park School is believed to be under control now. Police spokesman Lieutenant Mike Madden says all signs point to a murder-suicide.
With both male adult and female adult victim succumbing to injuries, with the male succumbing to a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
As remaining students were taken to a playground area, parents rushed to the scene to collect their kids. This incident comes in San Bernardino just 2 years after that terror attack in the city where 14 people died, Pam.
Thanks, Gernal. For Charleston church shooter Dylan Roof, the court cases are over. Fox's Eben Brown has more live.
Pam, Dylan Storm Roof is already on federal death row for hate crimes convictions relating to his 2015 attack upon Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston, killing 9 black churchgoers in an attempt to spark racial conflict. But now he pleads guilty to state-level murder charges in a South Carolina court.
And you have 9 murder charges. That would be 9 life without parole. Do you understand?
Roof answered yes, all part of a plea deal with state prosecutors worked out following Roof's federal conviction. He remained silent as victims again were given the chances to speak, Pam.
Thanks, Eben. New revelations about Russia. A senior U.S. official tells the Associated Press that the Kremlin knew in advance about last week's chemical weapons attack in Syria. This ahead of Secretary of State Rex Tillerson's visit to Moscow.
He will not be meeting with President Putin, but will more likely be meeting with his counterpart, Sergei Lavrov.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Today, there are over 47 million Ford vehicles on the road, rolling on over 188 million tires. That's a lot of rubber to trust to anyone other than a hardworking specialist at Ford Service. No one knows your Ford better than Ford and Ford Service.
Get a $70 rebate by mail on 4 select tires, plus another $70 rebate when you use the Ford Service credit card. Subject to credit approval, rebate by prepaid debit card. Other tire manufacturer rebate or offer cannot be combined with Ford Service credit card rebate or offer. See your participating Ford dealer for details through 6/30/17.
Over 3 million businesses use Indeed.com for hiring, and independent research shows that 5 times more hires are made through Indeed than any other job site. By creating the easiest, most effective hiring experience, we help businesses find great new people every day. Right now, we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job on the world's #1 job site. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Caused a huge online sensation, and now we're learning that proper procedures apparently weren't followed at Chicago's O'Hare Airport when a passenger on a United Airlines flight was forcibly removed. Fox's Jeff Manasso is live in Chicago.
Pam, a man who refused to give up his seat to accommodate United employees on the airline's overbooked flight Sunday was taken off by force and left bruised and bloodied, to the horror of fellow passengers.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. No. Oh, my God. Look at what you did to him.
The airline has since apologized, saying it had no choice but to contact Chicago Aviation Police, who have since suspended one of the officers involved, effective immediately. Meantime, social media is absolutely blowing up over this. No word on the identity or the condition of that passenger, Pam.
Thanks, Jeff. The newest addition to the U.S. Supreme Court starts hearing oral arguments next week.
With the other 8 Supreme Court justices looking on, Neil Gorsuch was sworn in as the newest member of the nation's highest court by Associate Justice Anthony Kennedy. President Trump praised Gorsuch for being a faithful servant of the Constitution.
Fox's John Decker. With Gorsuch in place, the court returns to a narrow conservative majority. Much ado about nothing. That's what the administration says about those rumors pertaining to a senior staff shakeup.
I think there's a lot of stuff that was overblown about this. That makes it out into the media sometimes and gets a little bit more sensational than it truly is.
White House spokesman Sean Spicer. Over the weekend, senior advisors Steve Bannon and Jared Kushner sat down in an attempt to work things out. Instead of creating jobs, Toyota is saving jobs in Kentucky. The automaker announcing a more than $1 billion retooling of its Georgetown factory. Pam Puso, Fox News Radio.
Just like when a woman gives labor on.
Yeah. That's what it felt like at a mile and a half. I'm not going to lie to you.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Might need that AC here pretty soon.
Nice.
Including next weekend. We'll see some 80s. Just give them a call at 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Thunderstorms occasionally tonight. End at about 10 o'clock. A low of 49 tonight. Tomorrow, beautiful day. Mostly sunny. High 61, low of 39. Wednesday, the same, even a little bit better. Mostly sunny, high 67, a low of 49. I like this week. Right now, mostly cloudy, 65. I'll deal with it. Champaign or Ben?
Has 2 putts to win the Masters. Brings the putter back. Ball on its way toward the hole, and it's in with birdie. And Sergio Garcia has won his first major with a birdie on the first playoff hole here in the 81st Masters. Tears in his eyes. The most glorious walk of his life.
I think that, that calmness, that belief, that acceptance that I had through the whole week obviously helped very much. And very proud of not only myself, but my whole team around me. And we've done it, like you said. We've won one, and now we got to work hard to win a second one.
Oh, now we're getting greedy, huh, Sergio? Highlights courtesy of Westwood One. I think he needs to keep his fiancée. Maybe she's the good luck charm. Sergio Garcia gets it done at the Masters after so many solid years, including a ton of great Ryder Cup appearances. Yeah. Sergio Garcia finally has a major.
So, Lon, if we fail at something 73 times, and then I say that, you fail at something. He's been great.
Well, yeah.
He's had a great career.
As he's failed to make $50 million or whatever, or more.
Right? So, it's amazing. We sit there and call him, he's failed up to this point, but he's been a great golfer for a long time. Just hasn't gotten that major, and it feels like he's that coach in college basketball. He's the Sean Miller.
That's a great call.
Of golf, in that he hasn't made the Final Four. He's the greatest not to make the Final Four.
A great call.
Or in basketball, the greatest not to win a championship, or the quarterback not to win a championship.
We know all about that.
Feels like he's had that. He's been that guy. Who's been the greatest not to win a major.
Without a doubt.
For a long time now. We always thought he was going to be Tiger's rival when he came in, and he was going to be that number 2 or number 3 guy, along with, back then it was Vijay Singh and Phil Mickelson, and he got over his own demons with that. But I found myself, and I feel bad about this, because it feels like Sergio's been that guy, and he's brought some criticism on himself.
He has, there's no doubt.
Right? He said some stupid things in his career. But I found myself rooting for it to happen again.
I know.
But then when 18 happened, and you knew the playoff hole happened, and Justin Rose, put it into the chipper there.
Yep.
You kind of knew that Sergio was going to win this.
Yes.
And I kind of want him to win it with style.
I agree.
Right? And
not
make
a
that
two-putt.
birdie, and not two-putt this thing, so it just didn't feel like, he won this, he was given this.
Yes.
I mean, he had a great tournament, and the way it ended, with him looking like he was going to fail again.
Right.
But then he ends up winning it decisively in the playoff hole. I found myself going from rooting against him to rooting for him within a hole or two.
I totally agree with you. And I saw your tweet during the day. I was watching it late because I had gone to the softball game and the tennis match over at Illinois. But
I saw that on TV.
Well, right. I had no idea that they had,
Celebrity Latte,
I guess, right? I was chatting with Josh Whitman for a while at softball.
Oh, look at you.
It's just, this is getting out of hand now. I got to start maybe getting an entourage and or bodyguards.
Does chatting at the softball game with Josh Whitman, does that take over having dinner with D.A. Points as your go-to?
No, I don't think so. Okay. I'm sorry, Josh.
D.A.'s still a little higher on the scale?
Still a little bit higher, I think, in my mind. But it was nice. I got to meet Hope, his wife, and their little baby. I got to talk, or I didn't talk to the baby. Tate, so I was sitting there Googling with her like,
Not named after Lauren Tate.
No, right.
He always makes that clear.
I was about ready to say something. I'm like, don't even say it. No. I bet they've heard it 5 billion million times. So I was watching a little late, and I accidentally checked Twitter. Don't do that, kids.
Yeah.
If you're waiting.
It's impossible.
And I saw your tweet saying, uh-oh, it's Sergio being Sergio. I'm like, oh, no. He must have collapsed. Well, then as I'm watching it unfold, I'm like, yes, he's collapsing. There's no doubt.
It's like, oh, this is such a good storyline again.
I'm like, this poor guy, man.
Why do we root for him to fail so hard?
Well, then he gets to 18, and he's got the chance to win it, and he doesn't even give it a chance.
Nope.
I mean, the putt's not even close, and I'm thinking to myself, he's going to live with that for the rest of his life. He had a shot from 4 feet to capture his first, not only first major, but a Masters title, and he's going to live with that forever. And, you know, when he finally won it, I told you before the show, that was Phil Mickelson elation. When Phil Mickelson won his first, and you remember when he jumped in the air, that was the elation, the excitement that Sergio had. And here's one thing that I think is cool about that. These guys make so much money, right? And in life, we always say money isn't everything. And there's truth to that. Now, it would be nice to be worth $50 million like Sergio and not ever have a problem paying a bill or anything like that. I get that. But you can see how much that meant to him just to win a major.
Sure.
And it's all about, you know, his peers looking at him finally and realizing, all right, that guy is indeed one of the best. He now has a major. I don't care. They could have said to him, Sergio, we're not paying you a dime. We're just giving you the major, and he would have taken it in a heartbeat.
No, because he's going to make a lot more money probably because he won that thing.
But it was very cool, and I thought that was neat. And I made fun of Justin Rose's sunglasses, and then I find out today that he has to do that for allergy reasons, and now I feel horrible. I'm sorry, Justin, but those sunglasses were terrible.
Sunglasses at night.
But it was cool. What a great final round of the Masters. What a great Masters.
It was.
Going into the final round looked like an all-star edition.
Yeah, it was really cool. You know, Jordan Spieth is the guy I just gravitate towards.
No doubt.
And he went for it. He went into Sunday saying, I'm going to go for it. I'm not being chased. I'm chasing. So I kind of feel comfortable with it. And he did it to his credit.
He did.
Just barely missed on some of his most important shots and just never really got into the thing. But Thomas Peters
Holy smoke.
made a heck of a run at this thing and ties for fourth. He had a chance to hit an eagle to tie Sergio at the time, get one stroke back of Justin Rose, and missed it. And then on 17, he bogeyed, so he kind of got out of it. But that was a really cool run for him.
Yes,
had some really good rounds in that tournament, the first day and the last day. But Thomas Peters is going to be one of the better golfers in the world.
That dude's got unlimited potential. I mean, he's tall. Tall doesn't mean anything, but he's big. He hits the ball deep. He's got great touch around the green. His putting is solid. Thomas Peters, I think, now I don't want to put the kiss of doom on him, but I think he's going to win some majors in his life. I mean, he is a guy that is going to be so tough to beat down the stretch when he finally, you got to realize that's the first time he's ever played in a Masters.
Is he 23?
I think so. And then all of a sudden, I thought they said 25.
Well, 25.
Maybe 25, right. Yeah. But that said,
2012 was the year he won. I think, yeah. So, yeah, it means 25
crazy.
Makes sense.
But the point is, it's his first major. It's his first Masters, which alone would shake your bones.
Third major.
Right. And then by the final round, he looks like the most comfortable guy out on that golf course.
Yeah. We asked Mike Small last week when we had him on the show what he was expecting or what he thought about Thomas going into the Masters.
It's only his third major he's played in. So it's not like he has a lot of experience, but if he can feel good in that setting, I think he'll have some success. To what level, I'm not sure of, but I know physically he has what it takes, and he's growing up with all the other facets of the game, and I think he's in a good place confidence-wise. So I want to see how the golf course fits in because he's going to play a lot of Masters. This isn't the only one he's going to play.
Right.
Believe me, he's going to be playing a lot of them. So he'll learn, and he'll adapt, and he'll grow to the golf course, but his first go-around at it's going to be fun to see how it fits in.
Yeah, and I'll tell you how he's going to grow to that Masters. That course fits him because there are holes on that course late in the round where you can get eagles. And Thomas Peters is a guy that can go out and get eagles, and he showed that yesterday. The putt that he barely missed downhill, that was a hard putt, tough putt. Yeah. But if that drops, who knows? Because that's all of a sudden going to put a ton of pressure on a guy like Rose and Serge.
He made $484,000.
Oh!
With that weekend. Now, of course, there's expenses, all these things.
Well, right.
Taxes and all that.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what they are in Belgium, but he's got to pay taxes on it, I'm sure. Myers Leonard.
Yes.
Has made about $10 million in his career, and he just signed a 4-year, $41 million deal that kicked in this year.
Great.
Who will make more money in their career?
Peters. I think Thomas Peters will.
I'm going to give it to Myers.
Okay.
Slightly.
So Myers.
But Peters has the chance for to make a lot of money,
Yes.
of course, because you said Serge is what made 50.
Well,
like
I don't know. I mean, I'm
Okay.
guessing that.
I'd have to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, golfers can make a lot of money. If he's one of the best golfers in the world, you're right.
Yeah.
And if he's that for a sustained long time. But Myers will probably get a third contract,
You're probably
too.
true. That's probably true.
Which, with what NBA players are
Yeah.
going to start making here, I mean, they already make a lot, but it's just going up and up and up. That'll be interesting to watch.
It will be.
To see who makes more money over there.
I think winning the Masters yesterday paid 1.8, and that continues to go up, and will only go up as TV deals and such continue on in the future. But you're right. I think now that I think about it, even though Myers is maybe only going to play about another 10 years. Although he's got another 10 years to play, that's
Maybe.
a lot of money.
If he stays healthy,
no doubt. And Thomas Peters can play for
making
another
$10 million a year.
Yeah,
at least.
And Peters will play another 40 years. I mean, that would put him at 65.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not that long, but he could play until 60 or whatever. So that might be a good little battle down the stretch. But isn't it cool to sit there and see a kid that wore the orange and blue? And
Yes.
during the first, they didn't do it yesterday. But during the first 3 rounds of that thing, whenever Thomas Peters was shown or talked about, I bet they mentioned Illinois, the University of Illinois, maybe 4, 5, 6 times.
Right.
And if you're a young kid that likes golf, I guarantee you watch the Masters and everybody sees that. And that's really, really cool.
He's
really
the,
cool.
He's the best Mike Smalls had.
No doubt.
So far.
I don't think there's any doubt.
And he's got the chance to be one of the best golfers in the world. So that just added even more to what is always a fun weekend to watch. And that was great. I was really surprised to see, and I don't know how much this matters.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about this all the time, but TV ratings were down 9% this year.
Were they really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I'm wondering if it's because Spieth wasn't in it, Rory wasn't in it, Phil wasn't in it.
Yep.
But there is a Tiger effect. When Tiger's in there, you
No
just
doubt.
get a viewer that you normally don't get.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And you keep waiting for him.
I'm not just talking about race here.
No.
Even me.
Yes.
I didn't start really watching golf until we started doing this show.
I totally
Unless
agree.
it was Tiger. And then watching you knew more about it. I've gotten more into it because I got to talk about it on the show too, but I have more of appreciation for it. But I would watch
I'm with you there.
Tiger.
I'm with you.
Just to watch Tiger, not to watch golf.
The perfect example would be a regular tournament during the year, not a major, and all of a sudden Tiger's in the hunt. This happened about 2 years ago. Remember there was about 4 years ago he had that one good year where he won like 6 tournaments.
Tour Player of the Year.
Yes. And that tournament, now I will easily go a weekend without turning golf on. I can do that. That's not something that, now I never miss a major.
I'm an NHL playoffs and major guy.
That's exactly, and
That's what I do.
I'm definitely a guy. Now I will sit down on occasion to watch golf, but normally not so. But if Tiger is in the hunt, I'm like you. Yeah. I'm watching. It's must-see TV for me. And I don't know if he'll ever be in the hunt again.
I don't think
I
so.
doubt it. But now we got Thomas Peters coming up, and that'll be
Plenty
fun to watch.
Plenty
no
to
doubt.
watch. Jeff Babineau, golfweek.com, will join us at 4:30. We are off a little early today, off at the beginning of the 5 o'clock hour for Cardinals Nationals. Adam Wainwright versus Tanner Roark, former
your
Illini.
guy.
Speaking of, ended my baseball career.
The guy that took you out of baseball.
So
not by hitting you,
No.
just by throwing you a curveball, and you said, what is that?
He's my age, played at Wilmington.
What is that?
Just crushed us in Manhattan.
That's legal? Did you turn around and ask the umpire, like, is that a legal
Wait,
pitch?
you can throw harder than 70 miles an hour when you're 12 years old?
And make a curve on it?
Oh, man, what's this thing? It moves.
Can you check? I mean, he's got to have something in his glove.
It was unfair.
Well, he pitches tonight.
I learned that I'm not going to make it as a baseball player because of Tanner Roark.
I would love to go back in time and just see little Jeremy face him like 3 times one game and then just be like, I'm out.
I mean,
I'm going to play football.
I think like 2 years prior to hit like 500.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
Kids were just throwing straight fastballs.
Coach probably has you number 3 hole.
2 years later, I'm hitting 280. Maybe 200.
And then here he comes and you don't even see it. You just hear it pop and it's like, okay, I want out of this game. I want out.
Good for you, Tanner. Making good money. Having a good career.
Hey, good for the Cardinals to play these early games. It gives you and I a little hour off.
That's
All right.
right.
I know I'm lazy with my job and I just throw it out there.
But we do have a busy show for you. Jeff Babineau, golfweek.com at 4:30. And Derek Piper, Illini Inquirer at 4:05. A lot of Illini basketball news we'll get into next segment. But did want to start with this. Javon Pickett asking out of his national letter of intent. A little bit of a surprise here, given that he'd been committed to Illinois since January 2016. This was his best offer, but obviously there wasn't a great feeling between the two. I mean, just like Jeremiah, Javon had tweeted out, and now I think we're learning that these tweets mean nothing.
They don't mean anything. No.
These tweets don't mean anything until they actually are coming here or not.
Yes.
So Javon Pickett, who had said that he was definitely coming to Illinois, a couple of days later decides, I'm not going to Illinois.
Yep.
Illinois liked him, but he wasn't a for sure Power 5 prospect.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough.
When they took
he
him,
had no other offers from Power 5, right?
But he was tight with Jeremiah. He was tight with Jordan Goodwin.
Right.
And he was a solid player that you thought could be pretty good towards the end of his career. This one on the surface is bad optics.
Okay.
Because Illinois could miss on all 4 really good prospects in that Metro East area.
That's unbelievable to think about.
Now, when it becomes singular with Javon Pickett, do I think this is a huge loss? No.
No, I'm with you.
I think you can go out there and find a player who's a better fit and a better player than Javon Pickett. Now, Javon is he had a great senior year.
Yeah, he averaged 26 a game or something.
I think he'd be great at a mid-major. I think he could be a good player later on in his career, just like I thought Aaron Jordan could be a good player later on in his career. But I thought he was a redshirt guy, and then maybe as a junior and senior, he can help you. I think Illinois can get a more athletic kid, a defensive kid, somebody who fits Brad Underwood's system a little bit better. But coming on the heels of Jeremiah Tillman, this hurts. I mean, just optics-wise, when you think of you had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity in the Metro East, and you might miss on everybody. Now, Mark Smith went to Michigan State this weekend. Michigan State thought they were going to get a commitment.
Okay.
He did not commit.
Wow.
So this thing's open. He's going to take another visit, and I think Illinois is in this thing.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, if you get Mark Smith, I think that's a good trade.
Amen.
If you traded Pickett and Tillman for Mark Smith.
I agree.
Because Tillman, I think, is going to be a very good player, especially his second year. But is he going to be there his second year? Are you going to have him longer than 2 years?
Correct.
I think Mark Smith's going to be a star.
I do too.
So if you're able to get him out of all of this, I think throw that out the window.
Okay.
Illinois did great to get Mark Smith, but there's a lot to play out here. And Brad Underwood has only 9 scholarship players right now, and that doesn't even include any kid who could transfer out.
Okay.
And we've talked about some kids we suspect could transfer out of here. So there's a lot of roster work to do and a lot of possibilities over the next few weeks that are going to keep us busy, Juan.
They're going to keep us busy, and I don't want to. I want to talk about Pickett a little bit, but I want to take a break first, and we'll come back and do that because I want to ask you what happens now. I think that's what everybody's wondering. What do you do now? Because as you said, you've got 9 scholarship players. You got a lot of. You never at first with this class all together. You started thinking, all right, are we going to be able to fit Mark Smith in this class? Now it's to the point where it's
you
like,
found a way.
Well, if you, there's no doubt. John Gross could count, right? I bet Brad can too.
Yes.
But it's one of those situations where now all of a sudden you're sitting there thinking, we need players.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a
help
thought
wanted sign.
Yeah, no doubt.
At Illinois basketball right now.
And we'll hit that next as we roll along here on the Tay and J Show.
If you want to weigh in, you can call the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line or text the Cheap Hour text line at 217-359-2255. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. I tweet at J Warner Scout.
At Lonte ESPN. See you.
Download the WSJK app. You can watch us live on YouTube. Just search Tay and J Show. Get the podcast at ESPNCU.com or find us in iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS
I'm
Insurance.
flexing and Harry's going, stop.
Harry Black is our only intern today.
This is like
he
so
looks
lonely.
Yeah, he looks so sad and lonely in there.
He's like, what, 6'6", 6'7"? And he's sitting in there like a kindergarten kid.
I know, he's sitting in the small chair.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like he left that seat open for Tyler.
Oh.
His buddy Tyler.
I wonder.
Who's gone now.
Is the hoop even going to...
He didn't sign the hoop. I told him he's got to bring it. Maybe Harry's too sad to use the basketball.
That's true. I mean, you know what? Today, I think out of respect for Tyler, and again, Tyler's perfectly. He's fine. He's not. Nothing has happened to Tyler. He's
even
doing
though
well.
he named the basketball hoop the Tyler Knight Memorial Basketball Hoop.
Today, there should be no shooting on the hoop. I think it should just be in honor of Tyler. We're just going to let the ball sit silent.
It's a bleak day here.
It really is. It totally is. All right, I went to hell and back on Saturday. I'll explain that as we roll along today.
And your son just...
Oh, don't even... Yeah, I did.
We got that story coming up.
Yeah.
But what's next for Brad Underwood? We'll talk about that coming up next.
It is the Tay and J Show.
An ESPN Radio Mike and Mike Extra Point.
Dustin Johnson not playing yesterday. At any other event, somebody would have been standing there. Literally, there are guys, the first person who was the first alternate is standing there waiting to jump in and hit on the first tee if a guy withdraws. But I was really surprised he didn't give it a go.
My thought is he knows how well he's playing right now. He knows how big this tournament is. And he knows, obviously, he would love to win this thing. And he just didn't feel he could compete at the level to do it. So, I mean, nobody knows more than him what's on this tournament, and he's playing the best he's ever played in his life. So it really had to be bugging him for not even give, as you mentioned, give it a shot, knowing full well that he wasn't costing anybody, because that would have been the worst thing in the world. If someone's waiting in the wings, he tees off and in one hole with draws, and that person, doesn't get to play, then I could see that a little bit, but that wasn't the case.
Hear more from Mike and Mike Monday morning on ESPN Radio.
At Ferguson, service is our most important part. So if service is the part you're missing from your supply house, come into one of our 600 nationwide locations and let our team help yours. Whether it's tracking down those hard-to-find parts, having your order ready and waiting at our will call, or helping you manage your inventory with our SKU app and online ordering, the edge every trade professional needs is right around the corner. And with Ferguson Pro Plus, you'll earn redeemable points with every online purchase. Come into one of our locations or visit Ferguson.com today.
This is Dean's yard, and Dean's a pretty observant guy, but sneaky crabgrass lurks undetected until it rears its hideous head this summer. However, Dean's not only observant, he's smart. He uses Scott's Turf Builder Holtz Crabgrass Preventer with lawn food in early spring. It protects against crabgrass all season long, while feeding the lawn for a fast green-up, guaranteed. So this spring, Dean can stop crabgrass dead in its crab tracks. This is a Scott's Yard. Pick up Scott's Turf Builder Holtz today.
Field & Stream invites you to join us this Saturday, April 15th, for our biggest firearm and ammunition sale of the season. At this year's Lock and Load shooting event, you'll find savings of up to $200 on top firearm brands. Be one of the first 100 adults in line and receive a free Field & Stream mystery gift card valued from $10 to $100. Live prize drawings will take place every hour from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. See store for official rules. Start a new tradition Saturday, April 15th. Field & Stream, where traditions begin.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days. Mortgage loans and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Sam Banks, inviting you to the Don Moyer Boys and Girls Club 28th Annual Steak and Burger Dinner at the Hilton Garden Inn, Thursday, April 27th. This year's keynote speaker is former Illini basketball great and current Big Ten Network basketball analyst Deion Thomas. Events like the Steak and Burger help kids have a safe place to come after school and find help with homework, participate in activities that encourage positive character and values, and spend time with a positive adult. Buy your tickets or sponsor a table. Call 355-KIDS or visit dmbgc.org.
It's warming up around Champaign, and that means it's time to get outside and ride in a Polaris off-road vehicle. And the best time to buy is during the Polaris Spring Sales event. You'll find great financing plus rebates up to $2,000. You'll even get a free 2-year extended warranty on any full-size Ranger or any Sportsman 450 or 570 ATV. See your Polaris dealer now. Offers valid through April and vary by model. No charge for promotional 2-year extended warranty. See dealer for details. Off-road vehicles can be hazardous to operate. Always wear a helmet and take a safety training course.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday mornings 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
3:28, I'm Jeremy Warner with your Sports Center update, brought to you by Prairie View Landscaping. Save up to 25% off your 2017 lawn care through the end of the month. Just email mypvdiscount@gmail.com. It took 73 tries, but Sergio Garcia finally has a major victory. Sunk a birdie putt in the first hole of a playoff against Justin Rose to take home the green jacket at the Masters. Former Illini Thomas Peters tied for fourth. That's good enough for a check worth $484,000. Illini softball red hot. They swept Purdue to improve to 27-10 overall. Illini baseball took 1 of 3 from number 18 Michigan, and Illini gymnastics finished second at the Big Ten Big Ten championships, with 3 Illini earning individual titles. Over the weekend, Belleville East guard Javon Pickett joined Jeremiah Tillman in asking out of his national letter of intent to Illinois. Mark Smith visited Michigan State over the weekend and may take one more visit before making a decision. Illinois coach Brad Underwood reportedly visited Kansas forward Francesco Badacci over the weekend. The spring signing period opens up Wednesday. Derek Piper also reports the Illini have interest in Kansas transfer and former 5-star prospect Carlton Bragg. Several Big Ten players have declared for the NBA draft. OG Anunoby has hired an agent, meaning he is done at Indiana. Purdue's Isaac Haas and Michigan's duo of talented big men DJ Wilson and Mo Wagner declared too, but they have not hired agents. They can withdraw at any point leading up to the June 12th deadline. NHL playoffs are set. The Blackhawks own the top seed in the West and play the Nashville Predators. That starts in Chicago on Thursday. The Blues will play the Wild. That starts Wednesday in Minneapolis.
Dubnyk.
With just 2 games left, the Bulls are tied with the Heat for the final playoff spot in the East. Chicago hosts the Magic tonight. The Heat host the Cavs, but the Cavs are sitting Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love.
Oh, wow.
Go Heat.
We have good news. Tyler, the intern, has texted in the Cheap Hour text line and said someone has to be putting up shots trying to get better. So we were going to retire that basketball for a day, but you know what? The next break, I'm up shooting shots.
I'm inspired.
I am too. I'm inspired right now. All right, it's the Tay and J Show. Lon Tay, Jeremy Werner. If you'd like to weigh in like Tyler did, you can text 359-2255. That same number gets you through on the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line as well. Went to Jupiter's for Andrew's birthday Saturday.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I only spent like $120 on tokens.
What do you get? Like a
beach ball and something else. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I was a kid. I love that.
You know what I did too? I actually strategized.
It's all about memories, Lon.
Yes, it is. It is. I strategized a Jupiter's trip, and here's how. There were 3 of them total, right? 3 buddies. And as each one of them would gather up tickets, I would tell them, bring them to me. And they each had a designated spot on the table. So I would then take the tickets and put them 4 at a time so they're all neat. And then about halfway through, I went over and started feeding them into the machine to get to see how many points they have. I was doing this all night so that at the very end, it wasn't one of those, hey, we're going to be here another hour as we try to feed tickets and try to get a beach ball. So I strategized Jupiter's, and it worked out well. So all you dads out there and moms, there's a strategy behind going to Jupiter's.
And this was after your fun run, right?
This was after that. I don't know if I'd call it a fun run.
So you did the Schumacher Shuffle.
It's the Schumacher Shuffle. So they raise money for uniforms and such for St. Thomas and Philo. And it's 3.1 mile. And Andrew and I both ran it. And I had promised Andrew that for his birthday, I would run a 5K. And it was hell. I'm not going to lie to you. It was absolute hell. And the worst time, I finished, but I had to walk a lot of it.
Day.
It was beautiful. Halfway through, when I could not get my breath, I could not take a complete breath, I was starting to panic.
You should probably stop.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I look down, and I'm at the 1.5 mile mark, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Number one, why are you putting 1.5 down? That mentally just frayed my mind.
Did you go out really quick?
I did.
Yeah, you went out too hard, too quick.
I could feel myself trying to not run fast. Yeah. But it's like, all right, I'm going to
get the adrenaline going. There's people running around you who are a little faster than you.
So, and here's the other part of this. Now, I'm not a runner. I was in high school, right? But that's years ago. All the good runners took off, right? And then there was me. And then there were, like, people behind me that kind of were walking. And a couple, like one kid almost beat me pushing a stroller with a baby in it. Thanks, Chris. But he didn't. I beat him. But it's just one of those where halfway through, like a mile and a half in, I can't breathe. I'm all alone. I have nobody to talk to. And I'm just like, what am I doing?
Why am I here?
Why am I? And then I thought to myself, my question I've
always
asked.
You had a moment of panic here a little bit.
I did a little bit. And it was right by my house. So I was like,
I could quit and go in that house right now.
You think anybody would even notice that I didn't finish except Andrew? But I kept on. I soldiered on, and I finished.
And you taught your son Andrew something in the process.
That's exactly right.
This is how the TV sitcom would play out.
And I'll tell you this. I did feel a moment of, like, you did this, like, accomplishment.
Yes.
When I was done, I was like, That's pretty good, Lon.
Yeah.
I did it in 33 some.
That's not bad, man.
It's not too bad.
For your first one.
For a fat guy that drinks a lot of beer, I mean, I think that's pretty solid.
You finished that dang thing. That's what matters the most.
I did, so it was fun.
And then you do it again a little bit.
Yes, and then Andrew.
It's not as scary.
Andrew only beat me by 9 plus
Okay, this
minutes.
is what's more impressive to me. You have a 10-year-old son.
I think he's Kenyan. I think he's from Kenya somehow, and we don't know how. Because the kid just...
He's a white, blonde kid from Kenya. Sorry, that's funny.
If he starts taking his shoes off and just running around with lions and such, I'm going to be like, what is going on with this kid?
It's pretty impressive because I remember when he was 7.
He ran this
ran
thing
a
at
5K.
7.
Now, I remember kindergarten, 1st, 2nd grade, they would make us little kids run a mile.
Yes.
And when you're that short...
Yes.
That's a long haul.
He takes 2 strides to my 1.
Right. And he does this at an 8-minute pace.
Right.
I don't do that. And I consider myself pretty active.
Yeah.
Like, I went out running this morning. I had like a 9:10 pace.
And he doesn't train for this.
No, and he likes it.
He loves it.
What little kid loves running straight for 3 miles?
That's weird, isn't it? This describes Andrew to a T.
Yes.
I used to get on a bike and just ride around Philo, and he would just run.
It's amazing.
And the funniest part, and this is the last part of the story, there's a kid in town in Philo West. He's about 30, let's say, really athletic kid. He passes Andrew at the last minute. And Wes comes up to me afterwards. He's like, man, that was the funniest thing. I'm like, what? He's like, I passed your son with maybe 10 feet left. And he hears Andrew go, dang it.
So, how old is this kid?
He's like 30.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So as he passes Andrew, he hears Andrew in the background go, dang it. And so Andrew thought that was going to cost him top 10, but he got 8th. So I'm like, whatever. So he won his age group, and it's Andrew.
All right, let's move on. What's next for Brad Underwood with his Illini roster, which has 9 scholarship players? That doesn't include anybody who could transfer out if that happens. And it also includes DeMonte Williams and Trent Frazier are solid to Illinois.
Okay.
But first, I mean, he's got to hire a 3rd assistant. And I talked about Chin Coleman last week, and it seemed like things were heading that way. I know Illinois is looking at some other options. I mean, they have a huge assistant salary pool here, and I think, Chin Coleman would be a solid hire. He's from Chicago, coached the McIrvin Fire for 6 years, so has connections there, was an assistant coach at Bradley and at UIC, and he got some pretty good players to go to those schools. So you'd have a Chicago connection there. But I've heard Illinois is going for bigger. Okay. And one name I've heard that Illinois is interested in, and they want this to get done today, if not tomorrow. Chuck Martin.
Okay, who is that?
Former Indiana assistant for Tom Crean. Recruited Thomas Bryant. Helped recruit Duron Davis, who was a top 50 player. Devontae Green, who is at Indiana now, and Curtis Jones, both 4-star prospects there. He was the Marist head coach for 5 years, didn't do very well.
Got it.
It's kind of like Orlando Antigua.
Right.
And kind of like Orlando Antigua, actually a lot like Orlando Antigua, he was an assistant under John Calipari. He was the lead recruiter for Derrick Rose.
Wow.
At Memphis.
So both, if Chuck Martin comes, you got 2 heavy hitters.
Those are 2 big hires.
So if that happens.
If they get Chuck Martin, and I know there's been discussions there, I don't know if anything's done yet, but those would be 2 big recruiters. And you add that to Jamal Walker. Of course, Jamal, this hasn't gone the way he expected.
No doubt.
With Tillman, especially.
No doubt.
And if they can get Mark Smith, they feel a lot better about that. But that's first on the plate. Hopefully they get something done in the next couple of days on that route. But there's a lot left. I mean, recruiting-wise, they got 4 spots they can fill now with transfers and prep process.
Well, and I want to comment kind of real quick on Javon Pickett. I know that the deal with Jeremiah Tillman, I don't want to say it angered me. I don't get angry about 18-year-old kids and their commitment, but it is frustrating. It's frustrating because it's happened before. It happened with Cliff Alexander, and of course that one did frustrate me because to me he was just rubbing it in Illinois' face by picking the hat up. That was planned, no doubt, and that to me is wrong. The deal with Tillman, I understand the fact John Gross left, and you can still get a little bitter because it's like, well, it was all about Jamal Walker. Now Walker stays. Right. Well, then it was all about John Gross, and it's just like, all right, just move on. Let's just move on with this circus.
And I think they are moving.
Yeah, and they're moving on. Go find something else. Good luck to you, down the road. But a guy like Javon Pickett, when I first heard the news, and this isn't because I didn't think Javon Pickett would be solid. I think Javon Pickett, by the time he's a junior and senior, he's the kind of kid you need. He's that seventh guy seventh guy on your team, maybe second guy off the bench, maybe third guy that provides depth, is a solid player, and can give you solid minutes in the Big Ten and the NCAA. So to me, I think this is a little bit of a loss losing Javon Pickett, because he's one of those guys that it seemed like John Gross could never get. You know what I'm saying? We did all these transfers for 5 years. We never added a guy like Javon Pickett that would slowly, by his junior or senior year, become an asset to your program that maybe an Aaron Jordan might, or a DJ Williams. We'll see. Mav, yeah, good point there on Mav. But it's one of these situations where I looked at Javon Pickett and I thought, that kid's probably worried about, am I going to play?
I think that's what it came down to.
So I wasn't bitter that he decided to do what he did.
I don't know if Illinois is all that upset.
You're right, exactly.
I think they were like, Javon, the spot's yours if you want it. But I don't think they were sold on him as a guy we have to have.
Fair enough.
In this class, and that's part of coaching turnover.
So this may have been
This kid wants to feel wanted.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're going hard after Mark Smith, right?
Yep.
Everyone's upset Jeremiah Tillman leaves. I don't think everyone's upset about Javon Pickett, and I feel bad for the kid.
Well, right.
But it's just different players.
Totally.
So he wants to go someplace where he's wanted, where he feels like he's going to fit in. So that's best. I think it's best if everyone goes their separate ways. I know people are more upset about Jeremiah Tillman, but it's best in the long run if he goes where he wants to go, and Illinois doesn't have a player who really doesn't want to be there.
No, exactly.
Right?
I totally agree. So it'll be good for Javon Pickett. Maybe he's more of an Illinois State guy or an SIU kind of kid. Maybe he's more in that level. I'm not sure.
School to watch is Nebraska.
Okay.
I think that's a school to watch.
They need guys.
They need a lot of guys.
They need guys as well. So right now, Jeremy, you're sitting with 9 prospects.
And how I would want it, I would split this up. If you have 4 scholarships to give away, you need 1 fifth-year post.
Okay.
I'm
sorry. I'm fixing my mind. This is a daily battle with myself.
You need 1 fifth-year post, and that guy's got to make an immediate impact because you have no centers on your roster right now. You have Michael Finke and you have Laron Black as your post players. So you need a guy who can come in and make an immediate impact because you do got to try to win games next year. And I do think you have a roster that has a chance to make the NCAA tournament, especially if you add a guy like Mark Smith.
And we could have been talking about this even if Tillman would have come here, right?
Yes. The other thing I think you need a prep post player. I think you need a player you can develop that can make an impact around the rim, whether it's on offense or defense. You need some impact players. Now, maybe he's more a developmental guy.
Okay.
Like Clifton Moore, who was signed with Indiana. He may stay with Indiana. That's a kind of player that maybe not going to make an impact year one, but down the line, you're going to need somebody.
Yes,
next year, the year after this year, 18-19, you're going to need somebody who can make an impact around the rim. Then I think you need a transfer wing.
Okay.
A guy who can score.
Right.
Now, maybe it's a fifth-year guy. Maybe it's maybe not. Maybe
the kid out of Oklahoma State would fit that perfectly, right?
But he's staying. Jeffrey Carroll's staying at Oklahoma State.
Okay.
But yes, he would have fit that perfectly. There's 400 transfers already out there.
Wow.
The other thing, I think you need a guard. A prep guard. Mark Smith fits it to a T.
Boom.
You need a go-to scorer at some point in his career.
So make it easy for me because I get clogged my head. So basically, if you get Smith, that's 1 check mark.
Yeah.
Then you're looking for a big man, fifth-year guy, Sam McLaurin type, although probably bigger than that. I mean, like a Mike Thorne. But maybe more productive.
Sam McLaurin would be great.
It'd be okay. So that's the kind of guy you need then down underneath.
And you can find those guys.
Yeah. And then you're needing a guy that can score points. You need a transfer that can come in and score points. And surely out of 400, there's guys out there that match. I mean, it's almost like college has become free agents.
And here's 2 of them. Cameron Johnson is a transfer from Pittsburgh, averaged 12 points a game last year, shot 42% from 3. He'd be a perfect fit.
Okay.
That's what everybody in the country is saying, though.
Right.
He's a graduate transfer.
Oh, so this is a guy that could come in and play right away next year.
And he's got 2 years of eligibility.
Wow.
So everybody in the country wants this kid.
Yep.
So, Kentucky's interested. Arizona's interested. So you have to sell this guy as being the go-to player right away, and he might be at Illinois. The other name, and everyone is sitting here on the text message, talk about Carlton Bragg. Carlton Bragg is an interesting name, and Derek Piper will talk to him about it as well. Of course, very talented.
Yes.
The 6'9", athletic, pretty skilled, good around the hoop, changes things defensively, but had some issues at Kansas. Now, he was charged with battery and missed a game because of it. But then the charges were dismissed and gone against the person who had alleged those charges of battery.
Wow.
So it seems like he was acting out of self-defense because this woman attacked him.
Oh, okay.
So what do you put into that?
Right. Well, to me, that it's not his fault.
Right. So you kind of got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
I would erase that one.
That's all we can do.
Okay.
Then he also had a 3-game suspension, I believe it was, or a suspension, I'll just say that, for a charge of drug paraphernalia, having drug paraphernalia.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of kids in college programs who smoke.
No doubt.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that the worst thing in the world?
No, it's not.
But there's a sign there.
You're right.
You know you got these things you have to do, and you got caught.
Yep.
That's a red flag. I was talking with Carp, both of us are like, Carlton Bragg, no, thank you.
Okay.
That's because of what we saw happen under John Gross. When you're establishing a culture, I get it, talent. Darius Paul was talented.
Yes.
Aaron Cosby was talented.
I see where you're going here.
Players hurt your program.
Yes, they did.
So when it comes to transfers, you better be sure they're a culture fit.
Okay.
And if Brad Underwood decides that guy is a culture fit, okay.
Yep.
I'm just saying you better be sure. I don't think you need to go get Carlton Bragg because he's a very talented player, but I think building your culture is more important than winning in 2 or 3 years, right? Like adding a guy, because I think you can find another guy who fits your culture pretty well. So he is tantalizing, and if they feel like there's no issue here, then yes, go after Carlton Bragg.
Go get him
because he's former top 30 recruit, but more importantly, he's the kind of player you need. 6'9", athletic. Couldn't find the court at Kansas because all the talent there. It sounds familiar with Cliff Alexander.
Yes, it does.
But, that is a tantalizing talent. So it's up to Underwood and his staff to figure out, is this kid's demeanor, is his personality, or is his character what we want in our program?
I think one thing John Gross did, and you can't blame him because he comes in his first year, they get to the NCAA tournament, and then he sees an exodus of some guys, Brandon Paul, et cetera.
And by the way, Bragg would be City year to play 2.
Right.
City year to play 2.
But it's one of those where it felt like John Gross tried to speed the process up with transfers and everything. As you look back on it, I'm sure he would do some things different. As you said with Darius Paul, he caught some unlucky breaks in there as well. The one thing that you like about a coach that's recruiting a kid in high school for 2 years is they find out about their character. And when you do this transfer thing, I'm sure they don't just not find out about a kid and say, all right, is Sam McLaurin a good kid?
Right.
Is he going to come here and cause issues? I'm sure they try to do background checks with coaches, with high school coaches, with teammates and such, or friends, et cetera. But, it's one of those situations where I almost want Brad Underwood, I'm almost going to give Brad Underwood a pass for a year or two and just say, and that doesn't mean I don't want to win.
That's all we can do.
Absolutely.
I don't know enough about this to be like, yes, go get Carlton Bragg.
Right.
No.
Right.
It's up to, they got to figure this out.
Yep.
But for us, we've seen it not work.
Correct.
So that's all I'm saying is there's a lot of people, go get him no matter what because he's talented. Well, I think there's more important things than
Totally
that.
agree.
He is talented, so yes, I'm very interested, but I better be sure to bring him in.
But the weird factor here is that you have to fill 4 spots on your basketball
team. But you
team.
don't go get him just because you have spots.
No, that's exactly.
Because just adding a guy who could hurt your culture, it's not worth it.
No, it's not. It's not. And that's where we have to trust Brad Underwood and hope that he knows that he can do this and get this done. This is a bad cycle Illinois basketball's been in for a long time here.
We've said the same thing about some other kids, too. And it's like, John Gross, you got to trust him to this point, but it doesn't work out.
Yep.
You just got to say, well, it's his call, and we'll figure it out if it's the right call in 2 or 3 years.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting to watch all of this. And again, with regards to, Mark Smith would answer a lot of, if Mark Smith would say yes to Illinois. Is this a dead period right now?
Yeah, there's 2 more days of a dead period. Signing period opens Wednesday. We'll ask Derek about the plans coming up.
Okay.
He's going to take another visit. So he's not going to sign on Wednesday, most likely. Unless it's Michigan State or Illinois.
Just to clarify, when you say another visit here or just another visit in general?
He's got one more official visit left. So that'll probably be either Kentucky or Ohio State.
Got it.
And he's visited Illinois enough.
Yeah, he knows enough here.
Yeah, I would imagine Underwood and his staff, though, will want to go visit him again.
Sure.
Once the dead period's done.
But in other words, for us, don't panic if his visit is somewhere other than Illinois because
he's already been here.
He's been here. He knows what he's got here. He knows where he's at. He knows where the State Farm Center is. He's got all that down, so we're not going to panic there. The good news, I think, if you look at this, is that he went to Michigan State with all the momentum it seemed like in the world for Tom Izzo, and he did not commit to him.
Yep.
So to me, that's one of those.
It's a positive.
Even talking to you, and I know you don't know. I mean, I know you know more than I do.
Well, here's the thing about this. Everyone thinks Derek and I are in the prediction business. No, we're in the information business.
Absolutely.
And Michigan State was very confident heading into the weekend that they could get this kid. They didn't.
Okay.
I think
that's big.
I think that's big for Illinois.
That's huge.
I think Illinois visited him last week, and I think that's encouraging.
Okay.
If he hasn't picked anywhere else,
right,
that means you're still in the running.
You're still in the running, and I think Illinois got a good shot. And you know what? Like Carp said before I came over here to the studio, he's like, you know what? I think Illinois is due for a break. This would be a good one. Mark Smith would be a good one.
Because he could possibly be your best player.
Yep.
Within a year or two of him being here.
And then you just start piecing together the other puzzle. Now, here's another question. Well, we got to take a break.
And I think Smith is a great culture fit.
Okay.
We talked about Jordan Goodwin being a culture changer.
Got it.
I think Mark Smith could be that too.
When we come back, I'll ask you this. I'll tell you on the air, and then we'll talk about it when we come back. What is the time process of these others, these fifth-year transfers, that kind of stuff? I've forgotten from year to year. So we'll ask Jeremy that when we come back. If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. Don't forget Derek Piper talking about all of this as well at 4:05. It is the Tay and J Show. Your four-legged friends need protection too. Pet insurance from Pekin Insurance covers cats and dogs at least 6 weeks of age or older as an enhancement to your homeowner's coverage. Choose between $2,500 or $5,000 worth of coverage for a variety of pet health services. You can even take your pet to the veterinarian of your choice. Learn more at PekinInsurance.com or ask your local agent about how to protect your furry family members. For pet insurance that is beyond the expected, contact Pekin Insurance today.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals, a nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Napa know-how. The Napa Bucket is on sale for $2.99. It's engineered from high-quality plastic, and it comes with a metal handle to make it portable. You're probably thinking, that sounds like any old bucket, but it's not, because regular buckets don't get you 20% off almost anything you put in it. So pick up a Napa Bucket today and get 20% off the parts you need. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Minimum 3 items. Some exclusions apply. Offer good while supplies last.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. For a limited time, Lands is offering special financing for 6 years or up to $1,000 trade-in allowance. Your choice, with approved credit on any qualifying trade system. So call Lands at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR for details, or find us online at landsinc.com. And remember, it's hard to stop a train. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
See Lands or visit train.com for complete program eligibility dates, details, and restrictions.
Need an oil change? See your Champaign CarX man. Right now at CarX Tire and Auto, get a full-service oil change starting at $19.99 with tire rotation and brake inspection. From oil changes to engine repair and everything in between, CarX Tire and Auto has been serving Champaign for almost 40 years with 3 convenient locations. Your Champaign CarX man has the right oil for your vehicle and at a great deal at $19.99. Stop in, call, or schedule online at CarX.com.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
You want what's best for your family, and what's better than a home equity loan or line of credit with no closing costs? Apply for a home equity loan or line at First Financial Bank before June 3rd, and you'll pay no closing costs. Remodel the house, get a pool for the kids, buy a new car, or take a vacation. Whatever your family needs, your home's equity can make it happen, and First Financial makes it affordable. What could be better than that? Offer subject to credit approval. Property insurance required. Valid on applications before June 3rd. Other restrictions may apply. See first-online.com/equity for details. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
So we'll have Derek Piper and Illini Inquirer on next hour to start. We also have Jeff Babineau, golfweek.com. But in this conversation, let's just kind of throw out there who these 9 players are on the roster, Lante.
Yep.
You'll have a junior class of Jalen Coleman-Lands, Baron Black, Michael Finke, and we assume, at this point, DJ Williams and Aaron Jordan.
Okay.
That's 5 juniors. 2 sophomores, Tijon Lucas, Kipper Nichols, and 2 freshmen, Trent Frazier, DJ Williams. No seniors.
DeMonte
Williams.
Yeah.
What
No
did I
seniors.
say?
DJ Williams.
Okay.
You gave him on there
DeMonte.
twice. DJ's probably like, I wouldn't mind starting over.
I wouldn't mind getting double the playing time.
Right.
And somebody asked, like, does his skill set fit Brad Underwood? For me, DJ Williams, it's consistency.
Yes.
You don't show it in practice, you're not getting on the court.
Nope.
And I understand he's got flashes. He's had flashes since he was a sophomore in high school.
That's right.
But he hasn't shown it consistently on the court. For him, play defense, give energy.
I always tell people when they ask me about DJ, I'm like, do you not think that John Gross understood the situation and that he was kind of battling for a job? And if he didn't play him even then he probably, he wasn't doing something right.
At some point with Williams, who'd you want to play more? Williams or Kipper Nichols?
Kipper. There's no doubt.
Kipper showed it immediately.
He
and
did.
He was consistent with
He
it.
did. Absolutely.
Right? And there's a little bit of ups and downs, but you knew consistently what he could add to your team, and he did better than DJ Williams right away, and they're playing kind of the same role.
Give me the parallel line between DJ Williams and Mav Morgan right now in their career. Did Mav Morgan play much? I mean,
yeah, sure.
Was he about, I mean, in other words, what I'm trying to get to here is, can you see DJ make a Mav Morgan kind of leap at Illinois? And now
the thing we knew about Mav was that he worked.
Yes.
In practice, he worked.
And this is
I think the more similar comparison would be Aaron Jordan and Mav Morgan.
Okay.
Except Mav's 6'11".
Okay. That's fair.
Mav's just 6'11". There's an athletic peak there that is a lower ceiling.
Yeah.
But those guys showed up every day, good culture guys. From what we've heard with Austin Colbert and DJ Williams, it's like the coaches kept pushing and there just hasn't been a response yet.
Okay, fair
so
enough.
Even, people want DJ more than they want Aaron Jordan. People wanted Colbert more than they wanted Mav Morgan.
There's no doubt.
Colbert's not playing college basketball right now, and Mav Morgan had 10 points a game in the Big Ten.
Isn't that amazing?
Right.
I mean, that's amazing.
Mav was playing 10 minutes a game as a sophomore, so around DJ. Then he had a huge opportunity his junior year, and by the end of the year, he took advantage of it. So, yeah, I mean, the opportunity's there. Mav made the most of it.
Yes, he did.
We'll see if DJ Williams can do that.
And sometimes I think in our minds, we try to see a ceiling that is higher, and we maybe think that we see a ceiling in a guy like DJ Williams that could be higher, but yet if there's not the effort, then how do you know?
I mean, I've seen it in games, guys, but it's flashes.
Right, exactly.
At some point, he was a sophomore.
Right. That's plenty of time to prove yourself.
You're a sophomore. You guys start showing it. Maybe he will as a junior. But I saw Kipper Nichols come in as a freshman. I mean, he's sophomore age, and he did it right away.
He made an impact.
I'd like to see DJ Williams do that. Maybe he'll have it under Brad Underwood.
There are a lot of questions surrounding this roster now with Illinois basketball and for Brad Underwood. When we come back, start next hour, Derek Piper, IlliniInquirer.com. We'll throw some of these off of him. I'm going to get Derek and Jeremy both talking about this stuff. By 4:20, I should understand it all. That's the way I'm looking at it. And then at 4:30, what a Masters it was. We're going to talk to Jeff Babineau. He was down in Augusta. He's going to join us from golfweek.com to talk that at 4:30. It is the Tay and J Show.
When your car breaks down, you realize just how much you need it. And when it breaks down, Beaumont Alignment Plus steps up. For routine maintenance like brakes, oil changes, tune-ups, batteries, and tires, you can count on Beaumont Alignment Plus. Bigger issues including alignment, suspension work, starters, alternators, transmission requires specialists. So get to know Beaumont Alignment Plus for your vehicle repairs. With locations on Bloomington Road and Denison Drive in Champaign, you're never far from the help you need. It's good to know the quality service is still affordable at Beaumont Alignment Plus.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days, mortgage loans and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call Matex Heating and Cooling to take advantage of Train's Weather Any Season sale. Weather Any Season sale. Choose between special financing for 6 years or special trade-in allowances on qualifying Train systems. Call 355-9700 or visit us online at mattexservice.com for more information. It's hard to stop a train. Any season, any weather. Matex Heating and Cooling, servicing East Central Illinois.
Subject to credit approval. Call for details.
It's a familiar place you know. It's a relationship to hold on to. It's a place for families, a part of growing up, and a key to staying healthy. There are warm, friendly faces, people you trust because you know you're in good hands, because you know there's complete passion, professionalism, and heart. If it's your first time or another visit, you get the care you deserve at Illini Smiles Dental Care. Dr. Shu, Dr. Fott, and Dr. Lou and their team are ready to see you now. Illini Smiles Dental Care, 303 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Book your visit online today at IlliniSmilesDentalCare.com. That's IlliniSmilesDentalCare.com. Illini Smiles Dental Care. We love to see you smile.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
I'm Pam Puso.
I, Neil M. Gorsuch, do solemnly swear. I, Neil M. Gorsuch, do solemnly swear.
And with that, Neil Gorsuch becomes a member of the U.S. Supreme Court.
I promise you that I will do all my powers permit to be a faithful servant of the Constitution and laws of this great nation.
President Trump fulfilling a campaign promise to appoint a strict conservative.
I have no doubt you will go down as one of the truly great justices.
For now, Gorsuch restores the court's conservative tilt. Rumblings out of Alabama that Governor Robert Bentley plans to resign over allegations he covered up an affair with an aide. The move would come on the first day of impeachment hearings. An abrupt and tragic end to the school day in San Bernardino.
This is just crazy. I've never seen anything like this.
That woman at North Park Elementary School following an apparent murder-suicide.
The entire incident was limited to a single classroom on the school campus. The suspect had come to the classroom to visit the adult female that was in the classroom.
Police Captain Ron Moss says the teacher and the shooter are both dead. 2 students were hurt. It's the big question looming over this week's talks between Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and his Russian counterpart. Did Russia know about the chemical weapons attack in Syria? The AP is reporting that. Fox News hasn't confirmed it.
The AP is quoting an unnamed senior U.S. official saying that Russia knew in advance about Syria's chemical weapons attack, and the implication in the article is that they did not do anything to stop it.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin. Not much movement on Wall Street. The Dow is up a point. You're on the Fox Report. Fair and balanced.
The people who design, engineer, and build Ford vehicles never rest, and neither do the specialists who service them. No one keeps those cars and trucks running or stopping better than them. After all, no one knows your Ford better than Ford and Ford Service.
Get a $25 rebate by mail on any Motorcraft brake service, plus another $25 when you use the Ford Service credit card. Subject to credit approval, taxes extra, rebate by prepaid debit card. Pads or shoes on most vehicles, 1-axle exclusions apply. See your participating Ford dealer for rebate details through 6/30/17.
5 times more hires are made through Indeed.com than any other job site, according to independent research. Imagine a lottery that had 5 times more winners, or a Sunday with 5 times more touchdowns. When you're hiring, it makes 5 times more sense to use Indeed. Right now, we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job on the world's #1 job site. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
The Pentagon has just identified the Green Beret killed over the weekend in Afghanistan. Staff Sergeant Mark Day Alencar of Edgewood, Maryland, was 37 years old. Charleston church shooter Dylan Roof was back in court and handed 9 life sentences.
Roof, appearing in black and white prisoner stripes and in shackles at the defendant's table, pleads guilty in a South Carolina state court to charges of murder and attempted murder from his killing and wounding black churchgoers in 2015. It was part of a plea deal Roof's lawyers worked on.
Fox's Evan Brown. Roof is already on death row in a federal prison. Not long after shooting and killing a law enforcement officer in the Houston area last week, the suspect, identified as William Kenny, took his own life with the same gun. That's according to authorities who found Kenny's body today.
Anytime we lose a member of law enforcement because of a cowardly killer who attacks them, it's important that justice be achieved.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Court dates and medical bills are the results of an annual spring break party in California.
It's known as Deltopia, an unsanctioned street party in Isla Vista, California.
It was pretty crowded. There's a lot of people walking through the streets, a lot of cops just waiting on corners.
This year's crowd swelling to as many as 8,000.
Because of the larger attendance this year, we also saw an increase in the number of citations and also in medical transports.
More than 40 arrests in all and over a dozen people injured, including an officer with a broken hand and a University of California student who fell from a balcony onto the beach. Santa Barbara County Sheriff spokeswoman Kelly Hoover calling Saturday's problems a setback.
We still are very proud that we are not where we were back in 2014.
Riots erupting that first year. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
And starting at sundown, the Jewish holiday of Passover. Pam Puso, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Active advisory, severe thunderstorm watch. We could get thunderstorms possible at 5:45. A low of 49 tonight. Tuesday, mostly sunny, high 61, a low of 39. Wednesday, warmer, high 67, and sunny, high 49. Right now, mostly sunny, 67 in Champaign-Urbana.
Hey, Jeremy.
Hey, Lon.
I got an unexpected text last night from a guest of the show.
Who's that?
Coach Hartleb decided he was going to rub in the fact that the Reds shut out the Cardinals twice during the week. You know, Cincinnati has 3 shutouts.
Yeah, they got some talented young pitching.
My goodness.
Amir Garrett, Brandon Finnegan.
I am not going to panic that the Cardinals are off to a 2-4 start. I'm not going to panic. However,
what's the obsession with Matt Adams?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
He's never been great.
Either put him at first and put Carp at third.
Or keep him as a bench player.
Or just bench. I don't understand.
I mean, why do people think he's some masher?
I don't know. I know
he's had like 4 or 5 years, and he's not a big masher. He looks like it.
Yes.
But Tommy Pham's just better.
He missed a ball. Was it Saturday? I think he missed a ball. And I saw Jennifer Langosh, who covers the Cardinals, tweeted out that MLB, you know, you kids in your whatever they are, there's a 90% catch ratio on that. In other words, that ball's caught 90% of the time. And for some reason, Matt Adams couldn't even get close to it. And not only could he not get close to it, he like dove into the wall, which ended up being a triple for whoever hit it. And you're just sitting there going, oh, please, why are we trying this experiment? I think here's the thing that I think is going to happen this year with these Cardinals and Mike Matheny, who in the last 5 years, you know, you and I, like 4 of those years, he went to the playoffs and went deep. He made it to NLCSs every year. And yet there are still a sector of Cardinals fans that cannot stand him because there's certain things he does that make us think this guy doesn't know how to manage, or he just bugs you. I think this could end rather horrendously for Mike Matheny. I mean, if the year,
it's amazing, missed the playoffs by 1 game.
I know,
and maybe not make the playoffs by a couple games.
But if he continues to do stuff like this, like with Matt Adams and such, I could see finally this thing just at the end just going way off the tracks.
Just don't get it. I mean,
I don't either. I just don't either.
Matt Adams is a solid platoon player, but
right.
I mean, why do people still think he's like a 25 to 30? Is that what Matheny thinks?
I think because he lost weight, and now they think he. I don't know. I mean, listen, I get this, and I know we can talk Cardinal baseball later because we got Derek ready. But here's the one thing I get. The Cardinals don't have any power in the middle of that lineup. And I think Mike Matheny's trying to generate that with however he can.
Is Adams a power hitter?
Well, that's the problem. I think he's as close to a power hitter as you have.
More so than Tommy Pham?
I
don't think so.
I mean, it'd be about even.
Right.
It'd be about
and
even.
He's a better fielder in left field.
I agree with you. It doesn't make any sense. I think Matt Adams, I think the easiest thing for the Cardinals to do, if you're that worried about playing him, then trade him.
Yeah.
If you're worried about Matt Adams getting playing time in Major League Baseball, then trade the guy. So you don't have the chance then to look down that bench and see him sitting there and put him in the lineup.
Derek Piper, IlliniInquirer.com. What do you think the Cardinals should do with Matt Adams?
Let's play Fammy. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Are you sounding the sirens, Derek? Is this season over for the Cardinals?
It wasn't a good first week, but I'll give it a little bit of time.
The only thing that worries me, this is the only thing, is that last year the Cardinals could not win at home, and they're already 2-4 at home. That's the only thing that concerns me about that first 6 games of the season. They have to change that.
Come on, Derek.
I have no control. I guess we should go to games that aren't at Busch Stadium if we want to see him win.
You know what?
I think I'm going to go up to Milwaukee and watch him.
I'm in. I'm with you on that. I've never been to Milwaukee. I want to go with pipes to Milwaukee.
All right, Derek.
That's awesome.
All right, Derek. That's all we wanted from you today. All right?
Good to talk to you, buddy. Thanks for calling on the Jupiter's the Crossing phone.
All right, Derek. He was joining us on the Jupiter's the Crossing phone line. By the way, tonight is family night. Mondays are at Jupiter's the Crossing. Families who dine in get breadsticks, soft drinks, 1 large, 1 topping pizza, and 25 game tokens for just $25.
One game on the Papa Shot, $79. Rolled up a 79.
Not bad.
I told Andrew, I said I hit 100 with Warner and Carp.
Oh, that's D. Brown didn't even want to play you.
Nope, didn't want to test
it. Derek, so Mark Smith leaves Michigan State without a commitment, huh?
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a pretty big win for Illinois in that sense. It was a good visit, but Michigan State went in. A lot of people were saying they were the leader, and especially after Jeremiah's asking out of his letter of intent. Illinois was trending down, comes in with a really strong in-home visit, though, on Thursday before they went for the official visit. So they go to Michigan State. Michigan State's feeling really, really good, even possibly thinking they can get a commit. And he leaves campus without one. So that really opens things up. And obviously, Illinois has seen this before. You remember back, having Juwan Evans or Jalen Brunson on campus. Once you have a guy come in for an official visit and you really press hard and you don't get it, now you're starting to worry about him going somewhere else. So I think that's probably creeping into Michigan State's head right now, and I think there are some question marks. Obviously, very, very good coach in Tom Izzo, very, very good roster. But that could play against them, I think, a little bit in terms of Mark wanting immediate playing time, and especially if Miles Bridges decides to come back. I mean, that's going to be a potential Final Four team, but Mark would probably have to come off the bench. So at Illinois, he can be the man right now and get the ball in his hands, and he can take one more visit. I think it's been said it's going to be Kentucky or Ohio State. They're still waiting to see who Kentucky's going to sign on Wednesday. Right now, they're probably the more likely one, but I think Illinois got to feel pretty good that they're still in it, and sounds like they keep pushing the right buttons to stay involved.
Derek, I'm going to give the Smith family this, and I know his dad played basketball at SIU Edwardsville. I'll give them this. They have done this absolutely perfectly. I mean, this entire thing, in other words, they only had the 2 visits. They have Illinois. They've given Illinois patience. They've listened to Kansas State. They now have Kentucky in there, and they might take that visit, as you alluded to. They go to Michigan State. They had Tom Izzo come down. I mean, what I mean by this is Mark Smith and these guys, they're not blowing smoke to anybody. They're just sitting there taking their time. They're weighing their options. I like the way they've handled this entire recruiting, the aspect of all of this.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. There's no nonsense with this group.
Right.
And they've even told people that if you come in with nonsense, we're going to sniff it out and you're going to be done. So,
wow.
It was funny. You heard about Kansas when they came in and took a look at him in January, said, this kid's a pro. And then they didn't call him for a couple of months. They're like, yeah, if you want to come back in, you guys aren't getting him. So, they can see who's real in this one. And Illinois obviously has been real the entire time. It's a funny story. Antigua was in home with them, with Underwood and Walker, and he's like, I haven't been on this job very long, but I've been about 10 hours with them. They spent about 9 hours talking about you. So obviously Illinois wants him really, really bad. Kentucky came in, didn't know a ton about him, but obviously they're selling the NBA. Michigan State's telling that he can be a star there, kind of like Denzel Valentine, but may take some time. So they're very, very smart. Both parents are basketball people, and really just taking their time and making the right decision for him.
Even if that's not true, that's a great line from Antigua.
Amen, right?
Great recruiter, right?
Yes, it'll be interesting to see who they add for the other one. I mentioned Chuck Martin would be a pretty good addition to this. All right, Javon Pickett asked out of his national letter of intent. How surprised were you by this, Derek, and what do you think is the actual impact of this?
I think it was maybe a little bit surprising knowing that Illinois was his best option on the table, and he was the guy that kind of started it all. And he committed, and he wanted to. He talked so much about bringing in a great class and really changing things. And I even talked to him after John was fired and asked him if he was going to stay on, and he said, "Yeah, why would I go anywhere else?" But I think once he saw Jeremiah, who's his buddy, decide to get out, and then Javon realized that maybe he wasn't going to play as much. They wanted to redshirt him had he come in this year, and he was going to be kind of a developmental guy, really contribute maybe junior and senior year. And then on the same side as Illinois, from their aspect, they weren't going to take away his scholarship or tell him to get out, but at the same time, they weren't going to sweat too bad if he did. So kind of a mutual thing. Illinois didn't force this by any means, but I don't think it hurts too bad. Javon's a good player, had a really good senior season, 2-time first-team All-Stater. But just him specifically, he was more of a puzzle piece to get to Goodwin and get to Tillman, but still a good player.
Derek Piper, IlliniInquirer.com. If you're not following him on Twitter, do so at DPiperScout. He's doing a heck of a job covering Illini basketball and recruiting. You reported it first, Derek, that Illinois interested in Carlton Bragg. What do you expect with this kind of pursuit? And, I came on the radio last week and said, probably no thanks on him. That's kind of a reaction to what happened under John Gross with some of these transfers. At the end of the day, it's up to Underwood. I am tantalized by Carlton Bragg's talent and what kind of impact he could be here at a position of need, somebody who can change things at the rim on both sides of the court. But you better be sure on the character makeup of this, because we've seen it go the other way. You bring in some talented transfers who might not just fit culturally, and that really set back John Gross. So what do you think of the interest in Carlton Bragg, and how many schools do you think will be, or what kind of schools do you think will be interested in him?
I think you're absolutely right in terms of red flags. Obviously, you got to do your homework on this situation. And the good thing is that Jamal Walker and Orlando Antigua both recruited him back in his original recruitment with Illinois and Kentucky being in that Final Three with Kansas. He had confidence issues in terms of on the court. He had maturity issues off the court. But like you said, very, very talented, was a 5-star by some scouting services, athletic, can really score the ball as he showed in high school. I think you just got to be able to push the right buttons with him, and a change of scenery is big time. I would take the risk, honestly. I think if you look at the guys that Underwood worked for with Bob Huggins and Frank Martin, they've taken risk on players. They have a really strong-willed culture, guys that buy in, and maybe guys that can be molded in terms of that accountability culture. So I think that if you bring him in, put him in a Fletch workout program for a year before he can play and really develop his game. This is a guy that still has NBA aspirations, and he has that kind of talent, just needs a chance on the court and then just kind of mold himself off the court. So I would take the chance. I think Illinois goes pretty hard at him, and I think that some other schools will as well, just because knowing what you could potentially get out of him, because you see that talent, and no one's forgotten how good he was coming out of high school.
Yeah, well, explain his game a little bit. I know he'd have to sit out a year, but explain, is he a 3? Is he a 4? I guess he'd be a 4 at 6'9". Explain just a little bit to Illini fans his game.
Yeah, he's a 4-man that played a lot down low at Kansas, obviously in that high-low system, and he's got length and athleticism, so he can block some shots and finish around the rim, although he needs to add some strength. In high school, he played a lot around the perimeter, and I think that transition game, especially that Underwood wants to run, really fits him in terms of playing, outside and being able to take the ball off the bounce and hit the mid-range jumper. He can hit the 3. I just don't think he was used terribly well at Kansas, and I think that also he didn't get a chance to really get in the comfort zone, not playing a whole lot. So I wouldn't put him as your 5 and expect him to back people down. But I think if you can get him in that mid-range, I think you can get him in transition. He can get up there and fly. So he's got a lot of talent, a lot of skills that just need to be honed in and really physically develop. And he can be a pro. He can be an NBA player.
Derek, I find this situation with 9 scholarship players, and that doesn't include if anybody transfers out, to be really scary. But at the same time, this is a huge opportunity for Brad Underwood, and that he can go get players who kind of fit his system right away, and we'll see how good this staff is as recruiters. What do you think they need most on this roster to kind of surround the complementary pieces? I think there's some good pieces on this roster with LaRon, Jalen Coleman-Lands, Finke, Tijon Kipper, and, of course, Trent Frazier and DeMonte Williams. But what do you think they need most on this roster?
I think you got to go get another big guy, especially one that fits the system, one that can run the floor and contribute right away. With you having Michael Finke, who's maybe not even a true center, who's probably going to be your only 5 right now. LaRon can play maybe as an undersized, but I think you want one that has some experience, who's physically developed, ideally on that 5th-year transfer market, can come in and play right away. I think that maybe is the biggest thing. And then another playmaking guard, a guy that can score. Mark Smith would be an impact guy right away, and pairing him with Trent Frazier and DeMonte and Tijon, I think that would be perfect. Otherwise, looking at some other guys who maybe are still out there that can make an impact. So you need a wing scorer. I think you need a lead guard who can handle some of those duties, but really you need a 5. And Mike can be your starting 5, but you need another guy, especially who's ready to play in the Big Ten, because I don't know if you're ready defensively to throw Michael out there against Thomas Bryant and Nick Ward and whatnot. So I think that maybe is the biggest priority right now, after losing Jeremiah.
So who would be that 5? Who are some of the guys that they would look at? I know Jeremy wrote down a Brandon McCoy, a Mo Bamba.
If you want to dream a little bit.
Oh, okay. Those are big time.
Those are 5-star prospects.
Got it. Okay. Well, hey, that's fine. I'll take those guys. Who are the attainable, maybe might be the best way? Is it going to be, we think, a 5th-year transfer? I mean, is there going to be 2 or 3 of those guys on the squad maybe?
Yeah, I think there might, and it's tough right now. I think your transfers are still trying to figure out who all is going to be on the market. I know there's a lot of names. Still got to figure out who they're going after and whatnot. Got to do some research on that. But Clifton Moore is one to watch. He was a 6'10", long athletic, more of a project center though. Indiana signee who requested his release, but he had a meeting with Archie Miller over the weekend and still trying to figure out if they're going to grant that or if he still wants his release. But if he hits the market, and if you get Chuck Martin especially, who was a lead recruiter for him, I think he's a guy you can see on there. But like I said, you want a 5th-year guy. Still not sure maybe who that guy's going to be. But as we know, every year there's a ton of options out there, although everybody in the country could use an impact big guy.
Right. Chuck Martin, you brought him up real quick. What kind of ties does he have? In other words, when we talk about a recruiter like Antigua, we know he has national ties. Is Martin kind of similar to that? Does he have I've said forever, Derek, you know this, just go recruit Indiana, and obviously that kid, I guess.
Well, Indiana can't even recruit Indiana.
Well, no doubt.
Right
I just said that. Just put the halt motion to Jeremiah. I'm like, wait, they just lost out on all 4 really studs over there. What kind of area does Chuck Martin, if he ends up being the assistant, what does he cover?
Yeah, he's recruited nationally. Obviously getting Thomas Bryant out in the New York area. Deron Davis, I believe, was Colorado. And then he even was back in Chicago when D. Rose was going to Memphis. So he was coaching under Calipari, but a guy that can just recruit all over the country. And he recruited Tremont Waters, who's now available. He was a Georgetown signee who asked for his release. He's from the Pennsylvania area, and he recruited him. And Indiana was in the final 3, and Chuck Martin was that lead recruiter. So he's a guy. Clifton Moore and Jordan Tucker is from New York, and he was the lead recruiter for him. He's a top 100 small forward who just took an official visit to Syracuse. But at one time before Crean and Chuck Martin got fired, he said that Indiana was right on top. So he's a guy that can go in really anywhere, and you want a stud, a talent getter to pair with Antigua, who's one of those, and Jamal can recruit as well. So as you said all along, you want to put some talent in Underwood's developmental system and being able to get the most out of these guys with the culture. You need some assistants that can go get talent, and Chuck Martin would definitely be one of them.
What do you expect next for Jeremiah Tillman, Derek?
Yeah, he's got to get that release, obviously, which I think is going to come pretty soon, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. And then he'll probably want to take some visits, probably want to get on the Missouri campus. I'm sure a lot of coaches will want to come see him, like Gonzo Martin. Bill Self and Kansas just got Dedrick Lawson. So that's a big guy, and they've already got a couple, but I've heard Kansas is going to be involved. Just like when SLU was trying to open the door back in November, Jarrence was trying to creep in and get him as well. So I would expect Kansas to do the same thing, but probably just going to sit back and see who comes to him. Missouri's already done a lot of the legwork on the outside, and that could just pay off pretty quickly. Playing with Michael Porter Jr. with some NBA scouts sitting at all your games is probably pretty, exciting for him. But, he's going to get his release and then open things up.
Derek Piper, I have one more for you. It seemed like this entire time when we felt like this class was secure, that when we looked ahead to 2018, you talked about Tim Finke, you talked about the kid I still can't say.
Io DeSumo.
That's it. It's not that hard, Lon. Io DeSumo. How does this change now?
DeSumo.
Whatever it is. Io. Hey, kid out of Chicago. How does this change the 2018 class now? Because it seems like those are the two names we kind of focused on because you felt like the rest of the roster was in shape to where, hey, you had a Finke, you had him, Io, then you're in good shape. How does this change it now going forward?
I think it changes it. Well, we'll have to wait and see who all they get, but
Sure.
It changes it in terms of need and maybe importance when you look at that 2018 class. Maybe you're only going to take one guy and maybe just kind of shoot for the best available player. As we talk about drafts and whatnot. But and Io was going to be that guy, and he's going to be a point guard. So maybe now you have some bigger needs. Maybe you need a big guy even worse now than maybe before. Obviously, you're going to have Jeremiah come in, and you're going to have some big guys there, but. I think maybe it puts more importance on it, but we'll see how many transfers they bring in, how many guys they solidify in this 2017 class as they're continuing to look at all options. But I think Tim Finke's still going to be a priority guy. I think that I would assume it will be as well. Maybe Taylor Horton-Tucker from Simeon becomes an offered target. We'll have to see who all they get, but I think 2018 all of a sudden could be more important, and then obviously going to 2019, a lot of in-state talent, E.J. Liddell, who they went and visited last week. But 2018 could be important as well.
It is interesting. I don't know how you and Jeremy are keeping this straight because in my mind, I can't figure this out. So I'm just going to go one at a time. I'm going to wait for Mark Smith to commit, and then I'm going to take it to the next step. That's what I'm going to do. Derek Piper, IlliniInquirer.com. Follow him on Twitter, @DPiperScout. You're back from Vegas, huh? You survived?
I did survive. Back to work and grinding and got in the gym today first time, trying to burn off some of those beers that I had at the pool. So
Getting up shots, just like we do here.
Life.
Just getting up shots.
Getting up shots, just like we do at the Tay and J Show.
You don't have anything to announce on your visit to Vegas, did you? You didn't get married or anything, did you?
No.
Okay, that's good.
I took a picture with my girlfriend, and we did one of those. Took a picture, and people thought she was wearing a ring on her right finger.
Oh, boy.
And people were like, so I got a text from somebody who was like, congratulations, man. I was like, not yet.
That's awesome. Well, Derek, I'm glad you're back, buddy. Keep grinding, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, man.
Thanks, Derek.
Derek Piper, IlliniInquirer.com is where you read his stuff. Follow him on Twitter, @DPiperScout.
He's been all over it. You can check out his stuff, IlliniInquirer.com. Coming up next, though, we'll talk some Masters. That was fun this weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
Jeff Babineau, GolfWeek.com, was down at Augusta. He's a national golf writer. We'll talk to him next.
It is the Tay and J Show.
Field & Stream invites you to join us this Saturday, April 15th, for our biggest firearm and ammunition sale of the season. At this year's Lock and Load shooting event, you'll find savings of up to $200 on top firearm brands. Be one of the first 100 adults in line and receive a free Field & Stream mystery gift card valued from $10 to $100. Live prize drawings will take place every hour from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. See store for official rules. Start a new tradition Saturday, April 15th. Field & Stream, where traditions begin.
Hey, it's me, your old AC. We need to talk, man. I am out of hair. Trust me. It's not going to get much better. I need to be replaced. Call the experts and get a new air conditioner that will save up to 50% on energy bills. Go ahead. Do it. I'll be right here. Whew.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save up to $4,000 on a new home comfort system. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
Daniel Tosh is going back to school. Tosh Point Show on campus.
Well, hello there, young people. You are our future. But more importantly, you are my future. So buy tickets to the Tosh Point Show on campus. You've already wasted your parents' money on tuition. What's a few more bucks for tickets? I promise it will be worth it. Maybe.
April 16th at State Farm Center in Champaign. Tickets are on sale now at statefarmcenter.com or the venue box office.
Hey, home sellers, it's Stephanie Pratt, Coldwell Banker Honeck Bell, your realtor that rocks the real estate market. I am so ready to list your home in 2017. I have the ability to offer you so much with the ultimate listing package. 3 3D virtual tours, floor plans, professional photos, flyers, and more. We also top position you on various real estate websites. So let's meet so I can view your home, discuss the process, the marketing, and the pricing to make sure that we get the best and highest price when we go live to get it sold. Contact me today. Stephanie Pratt, Coldwell Banker Honig Bell, your realtor that rocks the real estate market.
Join us, the Coopers, the 2017 March of Dimes Ambassador family, at the annual March for Babies on Saturday, April 29th, 2017 at 9 a.m. We will take part in the walk that helps moms have healthy pregnancies and healthy babies. They'll be the easiest steps you and your family will ever take. Join the community and start building your team today at marchforbabies.org.
Hey guys, it's Mike Carpenter from the Tay and J Show and the 200 Level. ESPN 93.5 has teamed up with the State Farm Center and Live Nation for Tosh Point Show. Yep, Daniel Tosh live in concert Sunday, April 16th, right here in Champaign. Listen to the Tay and J Show now through the 16th for your chance to text and win at 359-2255. That's 359-2255. It's Daniel Tosh live. Get more info on the show at espncu.com. Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
Life is full of twists and turns. You can't see the unknown, but you can certainly prepare for it. Pekin Life Insurance Company offers a variety of term and whole life insurance policies that are designed to meet the needs of individuals and their families. Options include transitional life, universal life, preferred whole life, family term life, and many others. Visit PekinInsurance.com or ask your local Pekin Insurance agent about an affordable, beyond the expected life insurance policy that's right for you.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. That lush green lawnscape is a result of a reputation earned through consistent performance. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, weed reduction, disease, and insect control. Now the ease and trouble-free convenience of Spring Green's professional lawn care's full program is yours at savings of 20% for new customers. It's backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com at 217-359-2111.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Durakan from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days, mortgage loans, and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're heading home, Tay and Jay are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
4:30, I'm Jeremy Warner with your Sports Center update brought to you by Prairie View Landscaping. Save up to 25% off your 2017 lawn care through the end of the month. Just email mypvdiscount@gmail.com.
Am I going to make the update?
No.
With my 7 straight.
Lante did make 7 straight shots, which is a new record, beating Tyler Knight's 5. Tyler will be back soon. Illini softball swept Purdue to improve to 27-10 over the weekend. Illini baseball took 1 of 3 from number 18 Michigan And Illini Gymnastics finished second at the Big Ten Championships. Over the weekend, Belleville East guard Javon Pickett joined Jeremiah Tillman in asking out of his national letter of intent at Illinois. Mark Smith visited Michigan State over the weekend, may take one more visit before his decision. Illinois coach Brad Underwood reportedly visited Kansas forward Francesco Badacci over the weekend. The spring signing period starts on Wednesday. Derek Piper also reports the Illini have interest in Kansas transfer and former five-star prospect Carlton Bragg. This just came in from Jeff Goodman, ESPN. Former Michigan coach and current San Diego State coach Steve Fisher is retiring. Several Big Ten players declared for the NBA draft. OG Anunoby has hired an agent, meaning he is done at Indiana. Purdue's Isaac Haas, Michigan's duo of talented big men DJ Wilson and Mo Wagner, they declared too, but none of them have hired agents. That means they can withdraw at any point leading up to the June 12th deadline. NHL playoffs are set. Blackhawks on the top seed in the West. They play the Nashville Predators starting Chicago on Thursday. The Blues will play the Wild starting Wednesday in Minneapolis. Which it's 2 games left. The Bull is tied with the Heat for the final spot in the East. Chicago hosts the Magic tonight. The Heat host the Cavs. They'll sit, though, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kevin Love. Sergio Garcia wins the Masters, his first major in 73 tries. Former Illini Thomas Peters tied for 4th. Good for $484,000.
Wow. Hey, Thomas, this is Mike Small. Thomas Peters was actually in town today.
Yeah. We tried to get him on.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And he was in and out quick.
Got it. I saw a picture with he and Josh and Mike over at the golf complex. So congratulations to Thomas Peters. What a run at Augusta. It is time to head back to the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line. Speaking of Augusta, our next guest from golfweek.com was at the fabled Masters, and that is Jeff Babineau. Jeff, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm making my way out of Augusta back to Florida and having a long drive here.
How many times have you been to Augusta, and do you still recall your first trip down there, and just what is that like to just drive and walk in there for the first time?
Yeah, it's amazing. I've been there 23 times. Wow. I had a high school buddy from home who he's a golf course superintendent at a great golf course, and he came down this year. He had never seen Augusta, and I love taking people out there for the first time. I march them right to the 10th tee, watch some of those shots, bend around the trees, and then you walk down to the green, and there's so much elevation change. By the time you get down there, that just everyone you'd ever take there is just absolutely amazed. So, 23 years, and it never loses its magic with me.
Is that the one thing? One more on Augusta, and then we'll get to what was an unbelievable Masters. Is it the elevation, like the greens, and just the undulation of the greens? Is that what's more amazing if you get there in person?
Yeah, I think the undulation and just the elevation. You just can't. It's cliche, but TV doesn't capture it.
Right.
You can have the best TV in the world, and it just doesn't capture the hills around that place, the undulation, how pristine it is. I remember one year watching a guy on the eve of the tournament leaned over to top the bunker on the first hole, cutting it with scissors, and cutting grass up there, and it's just so pristine, and there's not a pine needle out of place, and it's pretty amazing place. I mean, I think it's definitely if you're a sports nut, it's one of those bucket list deals for sure.
Well, Jeff, obviously Sergio Garcia, not just because he wins it. He's the story if he lost it yesterday as well. And I found myself kind of rooting for him to do what he usually does, which is kind of blow it. But then as he's just like everybody there,
yes,
when he wins it, I felt so happy for him, even though some of the things he's brought upon himself in his career.
Sure.
What was that like to watch that? And what do you think of that story for Sergio?
It was kind of strange to see Sergio sitting up there in this green jacket. I mean, he's been this tragic golf figure for so long, and part of the reason is because he's been so good, he puts himself there so much that he's had a lot of tough finishes,
Right.
But the thing is, he's so good, he's always there. He's there very often. So, he's definitely a guy, I'm with you. I mean, he's paid his dues, and to see guys break through like that at 37, I thought, he probably thought he was beyond the day that might happen, and that probably freed him up to kind of go out there and get one. He didn't put so much pressure on himself, and at times he's been his own worst enemy. So it was kind of cool to see him break through, and he's been an awfully good player for an awful long time. I think he really deserves it.
Who now has the title?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's if he still had it, but who has the title of best golfer not to win a major?
Well, I got three on my short list. You know, Westwood probably for longevity. Lee
Right.
Westwood. He's played more majors than Sergio. Ricky, because Ricky's an awfully good player, and he's kind of creeping up there toward 30. And then Matsuyama would be your world ranking guy, Hideki Matsuyama. Fifth in the world and awfully talented. And he'll probably, he has time to get his. But I'd certainly have Ricky on my short list as a guy who's a very good player out there. And he's knocked on the door a few times now, and he needs to get through.
Of course, former Illini Steve Stricker never got a major, but I think he's to the age now, probably don't expect that, although Jack got it done at 46. Well, Ricky Fowler, I know, like my 10-year-old is just loves that kid. He loves the brightness of the pants and everything about him. Does he have the complete game to win a major, to battle it? And I know he's won, I even won this year on the tour, but does he have the complete game to get one, you think?
Yeah, I think he does. I mean, he drives it well, and he puts it well. Yesterday was kind of an interesting. The last two groups, you had two really good ball strikers in that last group with Garcia and Rose, and two really good putters usually in Spieth and Fowler. And to me, the biggest shock of the day, one was how Spieth played. I mean, he exited that scene so early. I thought he was going to be the guy. And then the second one would be Ricky. I mean, his short game was lousy yesterday, and he kind of came off the last hole with kind of this blank look on his face. He was trying to make things happen and trying to hang in there, and it just didn't happen. But he has the tools, and Butch Harmon's a valuable asset to be in his ear and help him along. And, I think it is a matter of time with him, but he wants to get it done pretty soon.
Jeff Babineau, golfweek.com. Follow him on Twitter at golfweekbabs. That's with a Z. I don't know why, but Jordan Spieth's become my guy. He's the guy I want to tune in and watch a lot, just because he's always in this thing, it seems like. He's had some really tough beats, though, here recently. What do you think of his game over the last couple of years, how it's grown? Or, I thought he could be the dominant guy, and maybe he still can be.
Sure.
Do you still think he has that highest ceiling of these guys?
I do, because I just think he's such a competitor, and his asset is that he scores. It's kind of a lost art. You look at guys, and Sergio drives it great. You look at this guy, and a lot of people think that Spieth only putts it well, and that's he's pretty one-dimensional. But he's worked on the ball striking; it's pretty good. But biggest thing of all, he just has this grit and this ability to score. It's really a lost art. There aren't many guys through the years who have done that. So he is the type of guy that can build a huge resume out there. And I think one interesting thing with him, though, at Augusta, on one hand, it's amazing. He's been there 4 years in a row. He's put himself in the hunt on Sunday. But all of a sudden now, he's got to be thinking about 3 of those times he came up short. And why has that happened? So, it kind of magnifies what happened last year when he really threw one away. And then this year, he just never got any charge going at all. So he's put himself there 4 years in a row. It's really hard to do. And I think he'll keep doing it, though. You forget he's 23.
Right. That's the amazing part. And it is funny, Jeff, you talk about a guy and ability to score. You saw two guys, Rose and Serge, that really didn't do that yesterday. They just kind of did their thing and, were nailing down pars until it mattered. But there is a guy, I think, that knows how to score, and he's a kid that went to Illinois, and that's Thomas Peters, and he made quite a run yesterday at that thing. When you look at his future, Jeff, you've seen a lot of golf through your years. What do you think of a Thomas Peters, and how good can this kid's ceiling be?
He's really good. I love that the young kids come up and they're not intimidated at all. Right. He gave a couple sideways looks last week when people would give him the stat about, not since Fuzzy Zeller as a first-timer won at Augusta, 1979, but Peters and John Rahm is in that group.
Right.
They come out ready. They're really prepared. Mike Small's got a great program up there at Illinois. So they come out ready. They play some excellent courses on the amateur circuit. You think of him winning at Riviera when he was at Illinois, and they're just ready. They're ready to go. And even at Augusta, a place where Ben Crenshaw said he played 44 years and still learned something about the course every time he played. These kids kind of latch onto it quick, and they're fearless, and they go. And there's not a lot of yield signs with Thomas Peters' game. He gets after it. I like that. It's enjoyable to watch.
Jeff, last one for me. Arnie Palmer was pretty big story there, him not being there. I watched his last interview with Jim Nantz, and even me, I'm not a huge golf guy, but it seemed like that was kind of the story. Kind of everyone kind of had him in their thoughts that entire weekend.
Yeah, and I'm live down in Orlando where we're based with Golf Week, so we had some nice celebrations with Arnold at the Arnold Palmer Invitational a few weeks back, and when they came out and draped his jacket over, I got chills now.
I bet.
Think of them draping that jacket over on the first tee ceremony. That guy has been part of Augusta for more than a year of his life, all the way to 55, and such a big part of it. He loved being there, and he's just such a good guy. I mean, the thing that strikes me with Arnold Palmer is you meet so many people that have an Arnold Palmer story. How much time out of his life did he take to give to people, to turn, to sign the autograph, to take the picture, and to build a story? He did it with everybody. And I think that's the thing about him that just amazes me the most.
Well, Jeff Babineau, we can't tell you enough how much we appreciate you joining us today. I know it's a busy weekend for you covering this for golfweek.com. You can follow Jeff on Twitter at golfweekbabs. That's BABZ. Jeff, we just appreciate it, buddy. And what a Masters, what an all-star showdown on Sunday. And then for Sergio to finally get it, that would have been a fun one to be at.
Yeah, they seldom disappoint at that place. It's kind of Disney-like quality. It's amazing. And yeah, we had another good one, which is great to see.
Well, be safe getting home, Jeff. Thank you so much.
You got it, guys. Thanks.
Thank you. That's good stuff with Jeff Babineau. There's no truth, by the way, to the report that Dustin Johnson and I were finishing off a cooler on Tuesday. I'm like, Dustin, I'm like, just have a couple more, man. There's only like 4 beers left.
He were in the leaderboard, too.
Ooh.
And we even brought up Strick, who had a really good weekend.
You're right.
I'd finished tied for 16th.
How about Fred Couples? Once again at the Fred? Masters. He's 50. I wonder if anybody will ever break Jack Nicklaus.
Westwood
46.
finished tied 18th.
I know. He was in the running there for a while. It's just, and by the way, I'm kidding about Dustin Johnson. I have no idea what happened to him, but I know a lot of us.
57 years old.
57. Isn't that amazing? Dude loves, really amazing. He loves Augusta. Jim Nantz alluded to that yesterday, that he basically structures his whole year around Augusta. I mean, that's how much he loves that place.
I mean, yeah.
Phil Mickelson just kind of battled.
I mean, Serge and Justin Rose, there's enough star power there. Ugh. We had Kuchar with the hole-in-one that got him into it late.
Was that a neat scene when he gave that ball to that little boy? That was so cool.
Peters, this young kid that people think could be a star, finishes tied for 4th. McIlroy ties for 7th.
Right.
Adam Scott's in the top 10. Fowler was in the running. Spieth was in the running.
Ugh.
It was an amazing weekend for them.
It surely was.
I mean, Schwartzel had a nice run here recently.
And who was the dude that was leading it after 3 or whatever that I was like, you can go ahead and fall back now? I felt bad for him.
Charlie Hoffman.
Yeah, Charlie. I mean, I was like
6 over in his final day.
I was like, Charlie, I'm an underdog guy. You know me. I mean, I root for the underdogs, but I'm like, I don't need you on the leaderboard. You look like the guy that used to live by me down in Camargo or something. With this weird hat. I mean, just go fish and relax. But
looked like a golfer.
Dude, even just think how much money he's making.
A lot of money.
It's amazing. But when Kuchar gave that ball to that little boy, and you see the little boy, like, he didn't know whether to clap or smile, or I watched that like 6 times just to see his emotion on that. That'll be, you talk about a memory he'll have forever.
Tay and J Show off a little early today for Cardinals Nationals. Pregame starts at 5:10. It's Adam Wainwright versus former Illini Tanner Roark.
Boy, Carlos got a little beat up yesterday, didn't he? Carlos Martinez.
I mean, compare it, I guess.
I know.
Still pretty dang good pitcher.
I know.
That's
yeah.
You want to trade him to me?
No.
I'll take him.
I'm fine with Carlos Martinez. I'm absolutely fine with him. All right, if you want to weigh in, 359-2255. It is the Tay and J Show.
Your business is our business. From appropriate lending strategies to retirement plans for employees, Busey will help navigate your financial challenges. With experience working with a variety of industries, Busey has innovative ideas and proactive solutions to help meet your needs and reach your goals. For a top partner for your bottom line, call 1-800-67-BUSEY or visit Busey.com. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC.
Spring has sprung, and for 25 years, Prairie View Landscaping has been the premier locally owned and operated lawn care provider in Central Illinois. Prairie View Landscaping is a full-service company, a one-stop shop for all your lawn care and outdoor needs. So email Lindy at Prairie View Landscaping today at mypvdiscount@gmail.com. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com. Prairie View Landscaping, celebrating 25 years in business. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com.
Welcome back to How Well Do You Know Your Meat? Now back to the trivia. The freshest meat comes from your local grocery store. True or false?
True.
No. Contestant number 2.
It's false. The freshest meat in town comes from the U of I Meat Sales Room off of Florida Avenue in Urbana.
Yes, that's correct. You're a winner.
For the freshest cuts of meat in town, visit the U of I Meat Sales Room. Open Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 5:30 and Friday from 8 until 1. Just off Florida on South Maryland in Urbana.
Help us celebrate the resurrection of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ by sharing kindness and love this holiday season. Resurrection Sunday is April 16th. Please help us support our local churches, the Time Center, Restoration Urban Ministries, Crisis Pregnancy Center, Salt and Light, and all of our local charitable organizations. Jesus stated in Matthew 9:37, "The harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few." Help to increase the number of workers. Do something of eternal value today. This message brought to you by the Blossom Basket Florist. Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
DP Dough is the original Calzone company, and they cater all types and sizes of events, from office orders to private parties to entire visiting football teams. Everyone will be sure to enjoy something different than the same old sandwiches or pizza. DP Dough also delivers to nearly all of Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy until late at night. So give them a call or order online when you're hungry and no one else is delivering. With over 1 million calzones served since opening in 2006, DP Dough is sure to satisfy and fill you up. DP Dough, the original calzone company.
Hey guys, it's Mike Carpenter from the Tay and J Show and the 200 Level. ESPN 93.5 has teamed up with the State Farm Center and Live Nation for Tosh Point Show. Yep, Daniel Tosh live in concert Sunday, April 16th, right here in Champaign. Listen to the Tay and J Show now through the 16th for your chance to text and win at 359-2255. That's 359-2255. It's Daniel Tosh live. Get more info on the show at espncu.com.
Protecting your home and family, you better have a plan. Keep them safe from harm with the home alarm from F.E. Moran. Home invasions are on the rise all across the land, but they'll think twice when they see the sign for F.E. Moran. Don't wait till it's too late. It's time to make a stand. Call 877-FE Moran. F.E. Moran. Alarm.
Field & Stream invites you to join us this Saturday, April 15th, for our biggest firearm and ammunition sale of the season. At this year's Lock and Load shooting event, you'll find savings of up to $200 on top firearm brands. Be one of the first 100 adults in line and receive a free Field & Stream mystery gift card valued from $10 to $100. Live prize drawings will take place every hour from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. See store for official rules. Start a new tradition Saturday, April 15th. Field & Stream, where traditions begin.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
This song reminds me because Carp loves it so much.
Little Zep.
Well, it's Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
With Jimmy Page.
I know.
But the 200 level, they'll podcast it tonight.
Okay.
They won't play it, I think, tomorrow after the show? Or is it Thursday? Thursday after the show.
Is it? Okay.
It's Thursday after the show. They'll run it here, but you can podcast it afterwards. We got Cardinals and Nationals tonight. Adam Wainwright, Tanner Roark. So that'll stop them from being on live. But we also have Dodgers Cubs tonight, and the Cubs home opener, their first game there since Game 5 of the World Series.
Wow.
So this is the first time the World Series champions will be home playing a game. You got John Lester against Alex Wood, and you got the banner going up tonight.
How cool is that? For Chicago fans, I know this is going to be one of those moments tonight. If you're able to get a ticket, or even if you're at home watching this, it's just the continuation of winning a World Series, and now it's the realization that, yep, we got a whole new season now, and everything starts fresh, but let's not forget that these guys, they deserve their due, and they'll get it tonight. I think that's fantastic for Wrigley. Just the idea.
It's a lot different looking Wrigley now.
Well, no doubt.
With everything they put up there.
I was seeing like they're not warming up, right? The bullpen's not down the lines anymore. Yeah. So there's like a window in the outfield essentially that they'll be looking in on. So a lot has changed. I know. So corporation.
There's a bunch
of
Cubs fans that probably think that.
Oh yeah, they probably hate it. They probably hate it. I'm anxious to get up to Wrigley to see all the changes. That'll be fun. But seriously, like you said, it's the last. I mean, they left Wrigley and then went and won a World Series, and they haven't been back to that place. So this will be cool tonight for the Cubbies, who, you know what, they're off to a good start as usual.
All right, if you had to bet money on a team other than the Cubs currently leading their division to be the winner at the end of the year, who would you put your money on? You got a 4-way tie atop the NL East, so I won't put that one in there.
No.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are 6-1.
No.
The LA Angels are 5-2.
No.
The Minnesota Twins are 5-1. The Baltimore Orioles are 4-1.
I'm going Twins. Is it just to win a division?
Yes, just to win the division.
I think the Twins have a lot of young firepower there. And I think that division's winnable. I think. I mean, Cleveland will win it.
Pretty good.
Cleveland is good. Now that you say that. Baltimore's not going to win the East.
I want to say the best team out of those is probably either Baltimore or Arizona.
But
Arizona's in the same division as the Dodgers and Giants. And the Dodgers, I think, are just going to be too good over 162.
And see, Baltimore's in the same division as the Red Sox.
Are we sleeping on the Angels? I mean, they do have Trout and Pujols.
I always think the Angels are going to be halfway decent, but who's their pitching staff? I don't think I can name a pitcher on. Is Weaver still there?
Name that Angel.
I don't know. I don't want to do it.
Garrett Richards.
Okay.
Ricky Nolasco, Matt Shoemaker, Tyler Skaggs, and Jesse Chavez.
I took a kid named Shoemaker deep in fast pitch once, but he pitched for Country down in Effingham.
Yeah, I probably would have been able to name. If I knew Shoemaker was on that team, but it probably would have taken me a while to think of that.
Isn't that funny? But I think Baltimore's the same issue with the Yankees. Are they better in New York?
Baltimore?
Yeah.
I think they can be.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I think Baltimore's probably the most likely.
Okay. Yeah, because Cleveland's good and Detroit should be good. I mean, Minnesota will come back to life, but I tell you what, that's a young team. That Minnesota team, slowly, watch out for them.
They got talent. Miguel Sano's really good.
Isn't it amazing? You sit there and you think, all right, the White Sox are doing everything they need to do, and you're going to kind of miss that Cleveland run. This Cleveland run it'll be short because they won't be able to probably sign a lot of these
pitching,
guys.
Though.
Yeah, they do have young pitching now that you say that. But I think they'll slowly kind of disembark, and guys will be able to sign elsewhere for more. And they'll kind of break up, and then here come the White Sox, and then boom, the Twins are going to be about a year advanced from you guys.
The Tigers are a team that in 2 or 3 years is going to take a big fall.
Yes.
Kansas City's taking a fall after next year with the free agents they lose. Minnesota and the White Sox are getting better. Mm-hmm. They will. They got some young talent. The Indians will probably own this thing for a couple of years.
That's true.
I still think Minnesota's a little bit away.
That's fair enough. And then the Cardinals 2-4 start. Not fun. That was not fun to watch. And now you take a trip to face the Nationals on the road, and then you're in New York to face the Yankees. So things don't get easier for the Cardinals on this little stretch. I know you. I mean, I'm not panicked early in the year, but you hate to start 2-4 when you've got the Reds in there for 3 and they shut you out twice. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch this team and see how it evolves. You'd think with that top 3 of Fowler, Diaz, and Carpenter, you'd think that'd be almost impossible for that team to get shut out.
The thing about the Cardinals is they got depth. How much high-end talent do they have?
They don't. They don't have much.
That's the issue. Dexter Fowler's a very, very good player.
Matt Carpenter's a very good player.
Dexter Fowler's not an elite player.
Nope.
I think Carpenter is. I think Carpenter and Carlos are pretty close to it.
Mm-hmm.
I think O's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot pretty good.
You do. That's the problem.
Yeah, I mean, then you look at the Cubs and see how much elite talent they have. I mean, you don't have a lot of people that are going to compete for MVPs and how many All-Stars you're going to have.
Nope,
I know those are just awards and stuff like that, but you got a lot of good players. And I think Cardinals are going to be a good team. Yep. But when you're comparing yourself to the Dodgers, the Mets, the Nationals, and you're more like San Francisco.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for Madison Bumgarner is probably the best player.
That's probably true. Probably true. All right, next hour, we're only back for a second before we get off the air for Washington Nationals.
It's
and
actually
St.
3
Louis
minutes.
Cardinals. Is it 3 minutes?
Greatest 3 minutes ever.
Yeah, here it comes. I got to do some business first. Hey, taxes can be taxing. Rethink Tax Time with Busey. Their associates are here to help every step of the way. Somebody out there right now is going, oh, crap, taxes are due. You guess what? The deadline is Tuesday, April 18th. Get this done. Lon's doing it this week. You can avoid costly penalties and keep money in your pocket by contributing to retirement accounts. You can do that by the 18th. Organize your records. While this may not save you cash, It saves you time and unnecessary stress, and you can file electronically. The typical taxpayer earns a refund of nearly $3,000. Make the most of your refund this year by paying down bad debts such as credit cards and private student loans. You can also build savings, retirement, and investment accounts or establish that emergency fund. You can also take advantage with Busey by using their My TurboTax. It's fast, easy, safe, secure. Just log into Busey eBank, click on My TurboTax, and sign in. It's that easy. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of their many convenient locations today to get started on your maximum refund.
Indoor football action is back Saturday, April 22nd as the Bloomington Edge indoor football team goes head-to-head with the Kansas City Phantoms. Plus, it's college night. Bring your student ID and get in for only $10. Fans 21 plus can also enjoy $3 beers. It's the Bloomington Edge indoor football team against the Phantoms, Saturday, April 22nd at 7 p.m. And this week, a portion of ticket sales will go to benefit the Alzheimer's Association. Buy tickets and get more information at bloomingtonedge.net or call 484-840-EDGE. That's 484-840-EDGE.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. That lush green lawnscape is a result of a reputation earned through consistent performance. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, weed reduction, disease, and insect control. Now the ease and trouble-free convenience of Spring Green's professional lawn care's full program is yours at savings of 20% for new customers. It's backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com at 217-359-2111. Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. Allegations he had an affair with an aide and covered it up likely will cost Alabama's governor his job. Fox's Gernal Scott has the latest live.
Jane, with an official announcement expected this hour, Robert Bentley will become the fourth Alabama governor in history to resign from office. His decision heads off an effort to impeach him that began today. Also, Bentley was booked today on 2 misdemeanor charges of covering up the alleged affair with one of his top aides. The downfall came quickly as the state's ethics commission found probable cause that there were violations on Bentley's part. As a result, Lieutenant Governor Kay Ivey later tonight is expected to be sworn in as the state's new governor. She'll become the second woman governor ever in Alabama, Jane.
Thanks, Gernal. Now there are 9 justices on the U.S. Supreme Court.
After taking 2 oaths, one in private and one in the White House Rose Garden, Neil Gorsuch was welcomed by colleagues as the 113th member of the U.S. Supreme Court.
And I promise you that I will do all my powers permit to be a faithful servant of the Constitution and laws of this great nation.
Gorsuch fills the vacancy left by the death of Antonin Scalia, the cornerstone of the court's conservative wing and model for the type of jurist President Trump promised as a candidate to nominate.
Fox's Jared Halpern.
The children we do not believe were targeted.
Captain Ron Moss with the San Bernardino, California Police Department after a deadly shooting at the North Park Elementary School there.
The entire incident was limited to a single classroom on the school campus. The suspect had come to the classroom to visit the adult female that was in the classroom.
That woman, a teacher, she and the gunman are dead in an apparent murder-suicide. 2 children were shot. They're said to be in critical condition. You're listening to Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Today, there are over 47 million Ford vehicles on the road, rolling on over 188 million tires. That's a lot of rubber to trust to anyone other than a hardworking specialist at Ford Service. No one knows your Ford better than Ford and Ford Service.
Get a $70 rebate by mail on 4 select tires, plus another $70 rebate when you use the Ford Service credit card. Subject to credit approval, rebate by prepaid debit card. Other tire manufacturer rebate or offer cannot be combined with Ford Service credit card rebate or offer. See your participating Ford dealer for details through 6/30/17.
In your business, you trust people who time and time again get the job done. At Indeed.com, we deliver 5 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. That's why over 3 million businesses use Indeed when they're hiring. Because getting the job done matters. Right now, we're giving new users a $50 credit to post a sponsored job on the world's #1 job site. Claim your $50 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
A Russian-operated surveillance drone over a Syrian hospital as victims of a chemical attack were being rushed there for treatment has U.S. officials wondering about possible Russian involvement in that attack. A senior U.S. official telling the Associated Press there is no proof the Russians were involved, but a fighter jet later bombed that hospital. U.S. officials believe that was an attempt to cover it up. The Trump administration now trying to clear up questions over its Syrian strategy.
One day after President Trump telephoned the commanders of the warships involved in last week's Syrian airstrike, White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer sought to build momentum for the commander-in-chief on the world stage.
If you gas a baby, if you put a barrel bomb in to innocent people, I think you will see a response from this president.
Spicer's comments followed the abrupt cancellation of a briefing at the State Department, where top officials had appeared somewhat conflicted on Syria. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley talked bluntly on Sunday about the U.S. seeking regime change in Syria, while Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, speaking ahead of a trip to Moscow on Tuesday, emphasized that any abdication by Syrian President Bashar al-Assad would have to follow negotiations.
Fox's James Rosen at the State Department. Recipients of the 2017 Pulitzer Prize announced this afternoon. The Washington Post winning for political reporting, Peggy Noonan won for commentary, and playwright Lynn Nottage getting her second Pulitzer for the play Sweat, based on the true story of Allentown, Pennsylvania factory workers facing layoffs.
These are people who had been in a factory for 25 to 30 years, who had solidly invested in the American dream, and who found themselves all of a sudden without work and not knowing who they were because their identities were so closely aligned with what they did.
Sweat just opening on Broadway. I'm Jane Metzler, Fox News Radio.
Janie Metzler. How would I ask her to dinner?
Jane, would you come to dinner with me?
No, would you intro it with, hey, Jane, I work for a radio station and we carry your Fox News and I hear your voice every day. And
I'd just really like to take you to dinner.
Just love to go chat.
The invitation's out there.
All right.
Just do it.
She'd be like, I'm Jane Metzler. Then I'd make fun of her.
No,
I wouldn't.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Active advisory, severe thunderstorm watch in effect. Occasional thunderstorms could start from 5:45 to 10 o'clock. A low of 48 tonight. Tuesday, mostly sunny. High 61, a low of 40. Wednesday, mostly sunny. High 68, a low of 50. Right now, mostly sunny, warm, 69 in Champaign-Urbana.
Well, we are off the air in about 2 minutes, so not a chance to do drive time, but as always, drive time brought to you by Honda BMW of Champaign. For a wide selection of new and used vehicles, check out Honda BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy and online at drivechampaign.com. If we were going to update things, I would tell you that I went to hell and back. I ran a 5K on Saturday, and my son, who's 10, beat me by 9 minutes.
Yep.
And the other good news of the day is that I knocked down 7 straight, setting a new record here at SJ Broadcasting on our little Nerf hoop. I'm proud of that.
Breaking the record of Tyler Knight.
Yes.
We miss him.
And let's be honest.
He's fine. We just, we just miss him.
If Pat our sales guy would not have walked in, I was mad.
You are legitimately mad.
I was
you
mad.
tried to joke it off, haha.
No, I was mad.
But after your 7th make, Pat opened the door.
And it just ruined.
Because he comes in about every day at about 4 and says, hey, what's up?
Which we love seeing, Pat.
Yeah.
I did not want to see him at that point because I was on a roll.
Your mojo was done.
It was done.
After that.
And I was not happy whatsoever.
I mean, come on. Like, are you legit? Are you going to go to sleep mad at Pat?
Well, here's 2 reasons. Number 1, I may have set a record that nobody's going to ever attain.
Right.
And number 2, I hate odd numbers. So I was really hoping for 8 or 10. So I'll never know. We'll never know how long that streak would have lasted. Of course, eventually I would have had to talk on the radio, so I would have had to give it up. And I'm summoning the power of Mark Price every time I go and shoot a free throw. He was the best free throw shooter I think I've ever seen. 94% his senior year.
I'm looking up the career record. How much time we got?
We got 28 seconds. I'll say this. Thanks to Derek Piper, IlliniInquirer.com, Jeff Babineau, GolfWeek.com.
Steve Nash, 90.43%. Mark Price, 90.39%.
Wow!
Stephen Curry, 90.15%.
Wow! That's a great stat. Mm-hmm. All right, Cardinal baseball is next. Enjoy your night. We'll see you tomorrow. It is the Tay and J Show.
Awesome Machines Sales and Rentals wants you to take charge of your yard with Toro. Come in now through May 31st and save $100 on Toro Time Cutter zero-turn mowers. Save $300 on Toro Titan HD mowers and save $500 on Toro Z-Master commercial mowers. Awesome Machines has Toro certified parts in stock and they service what they sell. With certified service technicians and trained parts and sales personnel, Awesome Machines is the best choice for your lawn equipment needs. Awesome Machines Sales and Rental, Route 45 in Savoy, Route 36 in Tuscola, and online at awesomemachines.net.
Sure, we've been called a mom and pop store. We take it as a compliment. After all, we are family owned and operated with 2 generations actively involved, and 5 of our team members have been with us for around 20 years each or longer. We run our business with old-fashioned customer service as our foundation, and we wouldn't have it any other way. Add our great selection of hand-picked mattresses, all proudly made in the USA at guaranteed lowest prices, and we're sure you won't find a better deal anywhere. Visit us and experience the Illini mattress difference today.
Hey, it's me, your old AC. We need to talk, man. I am out of hair. Trust me. It's not going to get much better. I need to be replaced. Call the experts and get a new air conditioner that will save up to 50% on energy bills. Go ahead. Do it. I'll be right here. Whew.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save up to $4,000 on a new home comfort system. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
Check out the new BMW Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
From Cardinals Nation Restaurant inside Ballpark Village on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network, welcome to the Amarin Pregame Show. Chris Raby with you on a Monday night as we get ready for the Cardinals and the Washington Nationals. First game of a 6-game road trip for the Redbirds after opening up last week in St. Louis. The Cardinals dropped 2 of 3 to both the Cubs and the Reds, and tonight hand the ball to Adam Wainwright against Tanner Roark to try and get them back on track. A disappointing start, but still early. We'll talk all about that coming up on the pregame show. We will head to D.C. in just a bit for the first word and the Mike Matheny Show. Mike Claiborne is with National skipper Dusty Baker. We'll also get a Washington perspective with Jamal Collier, who covers the club for MLB.com. Plus a roster move and some big offense down in the minors. We've got a lot to get to. Let's dive right into it. Second start for Adam Wainwright, who opened up last week in the second game of the season against the Cubs at Busch Stadium. It brings us to our Central Bank of St. Louis replay.
Top half of the 4th inning, Wainwright brings it home. And the ball slipped out of his hand and goes all the way to the screen. The runners move up to second and third. That ball went a good 10 feet up the first base line and all the way to the backstop.
That has to be one of the worst pitches of all time, by the way. I saw him shift outside, and I was looking a different part of the plate. And so when I saw that instantly, and I've seen it before, I thought he was looking for a breaking ball, and I had fastball grip, and I did not want to throw a ball and hit him in the collarbone or something and have Yadier out. So I pull hooked it, aired on the side of not hitting him by 20, 30 yards.
First and third, one down. The pitch by Wainwright. Here's a bunt, and Wainwright gets to it up the first base line. Throw home safe. The flip from Wainwright to Yadier Molina, a little bit high. Yadi put the tag down on Contreras, and Brian O'Nora made the call.
I think the turning point in the game, obviously, their safety squeeze. I hesitated just a bit to see if it was going to go foul, and I should have just scooped it to him. You know, that was my fault.
Wainwright leaning in, nods yes to the sign, and from the stretch. The pitch on the way. A swing and a miss. A cutter strikes out Almora.
I've got to hone a little bit better. I got strike one good tonight. I need to attack a little better after strike one. And, my stuff is good. Just got to go out there and be aggressive with it and let them put the ball in play.
One out, no one on. Fifth inning, Cubs leading 2-0. Second game of a 3-game set, and the pitch. Strike three call. He has fanned 4 in a row now and 5 in the game, and he gets Brian looking. Good fastball on the outside corner.
Adam Wainwright, 5 innings, giving up 2 earned runs on 3 hits in his debut last week against the Cubs. He takes on the Nationals and Tanner Roark tonight in D.C. Replay brought to you by Central Bank of St. Louis, your hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. Follow Cardinals baseball live with the MLB.com @Bad mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com @Bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Roster move. We'll tell you about that and give you the farm report when we come back. It's the Ameren pregame show. Chris Raby back in a moment from Ballpark Village in the St. Louis Cardinals radio network.
Spring has sprung, and for 25 years, Prairie View Landscaping has been the premier locally owned and operated lawn care provider in central Illinois. Prairie View Landscaping is a full-service company, a one-stop shop for all your lawn care and outdoor needs. So email Lindy at Prairie View Landscaping today at mypvdiscount@gmail.com. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com. Prairie View Landscaping, celebrating 25 years in business. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com.
328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 328-2424. Tapman's Towing. 24 hours every day. Tapman's Towing. We have pull and we're hooked on you. Tapman's Towing.
Hey, it's Stevie J. Have the roof your home deserves. For your next roofing project, why don't you go with Roof Doctors, a locally owned and family-operated business for over 25 years. They use superior materials. They're a certified shingle contractor, so they can offer a 50-year non-prorated full system warranty, and they won't loan your work out to subcontractors. Hey, Roof Doctors has worked on my home, and the results are fantastic. But don't just take it from me. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau, Roof Doctors has plenty of satisfied customers. Get a free quote at roofdoctorscode.com.
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966. Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com.
We're back on the Ameren pregame show as we get ready for the Cardinals and Nationals tonight from D.C. Chris Raby with you at Cardinals Nation Restaurant inside Ballpark Village. Cardinals making a roster move today, activating Trevor Rosenthal from the 10-day disabled list. Had been dealing with a right lat strain. Right-handed pitcher Sam Tuivalala optioned to AAA Memphis. Rosenthal appeared in 5 games during the spring, 1-0 with a 1.80 ERA. Cardinals taking advantage of that 10-day DL to get Rosenthal a little bit extra rest. Career mark of 8-20 with a 2.92 ERA and 110 saves in 278 games. Our farm report. How about the bats in New Orleans for the Memphis Redbirds?
Swing and a towering, monstrous fly ball to left field, and that is gone over the wall, over the pavilion, and into the drainage ditch alongside Airline Boulevard. Tommy Pham's third home run in 2 days gives Memphis a 2-0 lead. Here it comes. And this is hit high, and that's really deep to left center, and Voigt's in the home run trot. That ball is gone and off the board. And the Redbirds have that breathing room. It's 8-3 on Luke Voigt's first AAA home run.
The Memphis Redbirds have won 3 of their first 4 home runs from Pham and Wildwood kid Luke Voigt, who went to play at Missouri State. The power showing up yesterday, 8 runs on 16 hits, 8-4 Memphis over New Orleans. Also yesterday, Springfield beating Midland 6-3. Farm Report brought to you by Monsanto, proud supporter of America's farmers. Weekend Only's mission is to save you money. Come in this weekend for the biggest selection at the best prices on furniture and mattresses, open Friday through Sunday and online at weekendsonly.com. Weekends Only is a proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. We get a national perspective next of the Nationals. Jamal Collier, who covers Washington for MLB.com, joins me on the Ameren pregame show. Chris Raby back after this word on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
In 4 days, you're going to close your eyes on World War III, or you're going to saddle up and save the entire damn world. Let's go, baby. Come and get them.
Get ready for what's being called the biggest, boldest Fast and Furious movie yet.
Oh, baby.
You get style points for that one.
Woo! The Fate of the Furious.
Let me get my selfie levels up. You realize this is classified, right? Not today.
Rated PG-13. Some material may be inappropriate for children under 13. In theaters and IMAX Friday.
This is Adam Wainwright. And I'm Trevor Rosenthal. Thanks to thousands of fans across Cardinal Nation who pledged to Homers for Health and K's for Kids. We've raised $3.7 million for Cardinal Glennon kids in just 5 years.
Helping to provide world-class medical care and create child-friendly spaces at the hospital.
That's why every pledge, no matter how big or small, adds up to make a difference in the lives of sick and injured children.
Join us again this year by making a pledge today at glennon.org. Together, we'll strike them out for the kids.
It's spring clearance at Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Hoopston. This is Jen Shelby inviting you in for the best deals of the year, with up to $5,750 off Jeep Patriot or up to $4,000 off a 16 Renegade. It's time to own an iconic Jeep. Or a Ram Tough truck with up to $6,250 off. This is the time to buy. Summer vacations are just around the corner. Take up to $1,250 in savings plus 0 for $60 on the all-new Chrysler Pacifica and get the family there in style.
Hoopston Chrysler, near the corners of Route 1 and 9 or hoopstonchrysler.com.
Hello, this is Shane Colt from Country Arbors Nursery. Spring is finally here and Country Arbors is open and ready to supply you with all your home and garden needs. We grow hundreds of thousands of annuals and 600 varieties of perennials right here in Urbana. If you're looking for a large shade tree, then you'll want to come out and see our thousands of trees dug and ready to be planted. Country Arbors offers a planting service on all our trees. Buy 3 or more trees and we'll give you 20% discount on the tree and the planting. We guarantee all of our larger trees that we plant for 5 years. And don't forget, we deliver dozens of different mulches and stone. You can find out more information and directions at countryarbors.com.
Meetings large or small, the Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham in Champaign can accommodate them all. The newly renovated 9,000 square foot banquet space can accommodate all your events. Let the Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham be the location of your next wedding, conference, workshop, or anything in between. The dedicated staff take care of every detail of your event to make it memorable and hassle-free for you. For special offers on weddings, rehearsal dinners, and showers, call a representative now at Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham, 398-3400. Leave the planning and execution of your special event to the team at Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham.
You can fly at Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champaign. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You've got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly at Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport.
Jamal Collier covers the Nationals for MLB.com and joins us on the Amarin pregame show as we get ready for Game 1, Cardinals and Nationals in D.C. Jamal, how are you? How are things in the nation's capital?
I'm doing well here. It's a beautiful day, actually, after kind of some cold weather up in Philly, so glad to be back.
I know it's only been a week. Cardinals start 2-4, and predictably some fans get fired up. What are the expectations for the Nationals this year in the second year for Dusty Baker? Are they different or are they heightened because of some of the struggles over the past few years in the postseason after great regular seasons?
Yeah, I mean, they've been pretty high, like you said, kind of recently for the Nationals, but if it's possible, they are a little bit higher just because, this is a team that has obviously had the success in the regular season and 3 division titles in 5 years, and it's, about taking that next step. And I think that these guys feel it or know it, and they obviously have aspirations to go past the first round and into the World Series. Fans here are kind of in the same mode because they've seen the regular season success, not just with the Nationals, but kind of oddly also with the hockey team, the Capitals as well. They kind of see this regular season super team kind of get knocked out early in the playoffs, and it just kind of made people a little bit jaded. So, the Cardinals fans are a little on edge after a 2-4 start, a 3-3 start. It's kind of got the Nats fans on the same kind of wavelength right now that they're, a little bit just trepidated, especially with a team who has not been able to kind of replicate and go to back-to-back division, back-to-back playoff appearances so far. It's kind of been an even year thing, so they're kind of hoping to avoid that odd year letdown right now.
Mike Claiborne's going to visit with Dusty Baker a little bit later on the pregame show. How have things changed with Dusty as manager? What's he like to cover? What's he like to be around? And has the dynamic of the club or the clubhouse changed at all, Jamal?
Yeah, I mean, Dusty is as just chill and relaxed person as you'll find probably throughout the league. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing is that he brought to this team when he got here last year is to really just allow the players to kind of play and be themselves. And it's kind of, like I said, create a relaxed clubhouse for the Nats. And, obviously the documented problems and issues that they had kind of on the field back in 2015, Dusty really kind of put a halt to that. And you kind of really haven't heard anything, negatively coming out or anything spilling out over to the field as far as this past year and a half. So, Dusty has got this team. He's got these guys playing for him. He knows when to rest his veterans. I think that's the biggest thing, too, that I've kind of noticed is that guys like Jason Worth, Ryan Zimmerman, guys with some miles on their legs and miles on them, as far as just years of playing experience. Dusty's done a good job, I think, of managing those guys and keeping them on the field as much as possible. So far so good. I mean, the organization likes him. He seems to love it here in D.C. He kind of mentioned that it was the most fun that he's had at any job since he was out in San Francisco. So, I mean, he's really taken to the town, and the people here seem to like him a lot as well.
Trey Turner heads to the disabled list, so the Cardinals will avoid seeing one of my favorite young players to watch in baseball. First of all, what's the prognosis on him? I guess they're expecting him back quickly. And also, what's it been like to watch Trey Turner and watch him evolve into probably on the cusp of superstardom over the last year, Jamal?
Yeah, well, on the injury front, I think this is kind of a more of a process of just 10-day DL here. And it's so much easier to get guys to be careful with him, and especially with a guy like Trey who uses his legs for so much of his game, not only at shortstop, but also on the base paths and with his speed. So I think it was just a thing that they were going to be cautious with him from the beginning. They can't afford to lose him for any kind of extended period of time. So when you look at it, and it may have been a 5 or 6 day thing, you may as well go ahead and take the extra couple days, make it a 10-day thing and sit him and try to get him back right after that. So I would expect him to kind of be activated as soon as those 10 days are up. At this point, I mean, he seems to, like I said, not be too concerned, just more of a caution move. Now, I mean, you're right. I mean, for those 73 games last season, he was as good as anybody else on the field. And if you kind of take those numbers and double it, like everybody kind of it's just natural for everybody to want to do. It's almost an MVP kind of level. And it's just, it's amazing to see. The biggest thing that kind of surprised people, he had the speed, but he's a really good baseball player that just kind of happens to be really fast. And I think that's the biggest thing is that he's a guy who can hit, who does have some power, and can do a lot of things with the bat. He's going to be able to turn singles into doubles and doubles into triples. Anytime he's on base, he seemingly can steal. It was a while last year where he was not thrown out without the benefit of instant replay. So it's like the human eye can't even see this guy get tagged out. So, I mean, he really, like I said, does a lot of things and really changes the dynamic of his lineup at the top. And I'm excited to see exactly if he can keep it going, but for a full season this year and in the next couple of years, just kind of what type of a player he really evolves into.
MLB.com's Jamal Collier helping us get set for the Cardinals and Nationals as we get ready to open up the first game of a 3-game series from D.C. Jamal, always appreciate the time, man. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. Anytime.
And we'll make Adam Wainwright our UMB player to bank on tonight. Looking forward to Waino's second outing in D.C. against the Nationals. Let's take a break. Mike Matheny next on the Amarin Pregame Show on the Cardinals Radio Network.
Hi fans, Matt Carpenter here, and on Saturday, April 29th, we face the Reds. That day, 30,000 fans ages 16 and older take home a one-of-a-kind double bobblehead featuring Carlos Martinez and yours truly. I hit the home runs, Carlos throws the water in my face. Now that's a unique bobblehead. April 29th, take away this home run celebration bobblehead courtesy of SSM Health, Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. Tickets are available at cardinals.com/promotion. There's only one Cardinals baseball.
You're at the ballpark every day, crouching down, catching heat, all but invisible. Your job lacks fame and glory, but offers plenty of distracting aches and pains. That's the life of a bullpen catcher. You can't afford to lose focus. Neither can your team. So be prepared with Ace braces, supports, and elastic bandages. And don't be distracted by pain. Ace brand, proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals.
The ribeye has the best, the greatest steak in town.
If you're looking for Champaign-Urbana's great steak place, it's the Ribeye Restaurant. Still with their famous salad bar and their delicious seasoned fried shrimp and delicious grilled chicken entrees. The Ribeye Restaurant, 1701 South Neal Street in Champaign. For reservations, call 351-9115.
The ribeye is the best. We're the one, the great one steak place.
Check out the new BMW of Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW of Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Hey, Miss Johnson. What's this you got cooking here on the stove?
Now, Billy, I told you to stay out of that until supper time, you hear me?
But, Miss Johnson, it smells so good, and it's so cold out.
I know it smells good, Billy. It's because it's my famous stew with a great cut of meat from the U of I Meat Sales Room.
If you're looking for the best cuts of meat for stew, soups, or any dish that will keep you warm this winter, head to the U of I Meat Sales Room. The U of I Meat Sales Room on the corner of Maryland and Florida in Urbana.
When your computer's not working, you're not working. Hi, this is Dan from Simplify Computers. Whether your computer is running slow, you have a virus, or it's just time for an upgrade, Simplify Computers is here to help with personal service you won't find at the big box stores. We can set up your wireless network, build, install, and maintain your business's server, or replace your hard drive. For over 18 years, we have served the Champaign-Urbana community with integrity and quality customer service. Call us at 352-5000. Simplified Computers, simply the best.
Brought to you by the Vitae Foundation.
Go back to D.C. and hear from the manager now as Mike Matheny and the Cardinals get ready to open up a 3-game series against the Nats. John Rooney with Mike Matheny, brought to you by Webster University.
The Cardinals are on the road for the first time in the regular season, and Mike Matheny, after the opening homestand, a 2-4 record. Your assessment of the Cardinals opening at Busch Stadium?
I think we saw some good things, saw some things that we weren't too happy with either. The record is what the record is, and right now we just know that we're capable of taking advantage of starts that we ended up getting losses on. Capable of putting together a better offensive attack than a couple of the games. I mean, it's just one of those stretches that didn't necessarily look like what we had seen all spring training, where you see that offense, that just relentless offense. Starting pitching outside of this last start by Carlos, the first time through was really good and something to build off of. Defense, we're seeing improvements on. Once again, you're going to have games where it just doesn't look right. But overall, saw some good things, but definitely
not near the caliber of baseball that we know that we can play for a consistent period of time.
You've been managing for a good time now, Mike, and what's the month of April like to manage where it's so disjointed at the very beginning, and it's that way for everybody?
Yeah, I think actually that rest is needed, and we've had some better starts. We've had times where it just didn't look quite right, and you could try to attribute it to a lot of different things, but we're really quick to make sure that we're just not giving excuses. We know the caliber of baseball we can play. Thought the guys did a nice job of making some improvements through the month of March, and those things are going to carry over into April, but you can't just take one little snapshot of whether it's a week or whether a homestand and make too many just solid statements about this is the team that you see. I think you could say that positively or negatively. I mean, we have such a long way to go, seeing a lot of things that we like, some things that we need to fix still, and this team has been very, very conscientious about improvement, and that's something that we saw all through spring, and I imagine we're going to see all season long.
Trevor Rosenthal is back, and the corresponding move, Sammy Tuivailala, goes back to the AAA team.
Yeah, good to have Trevor back, and we'll wait and see how he kind of fits in. We're going to get him into games and just kind of watch how it plays, but I think anybody that's followed this team at all for the last several years knows that this guy has the kind of stuff that can pitch in any inning, and we're anxious to throw him back into that mix, especially, had a couple outings with our bullpen that just didn't look like what we were hopeful for and what we're not going to see all season long, but putting an extra piece in there to take some of the load off the other guys, and as we're trying to find what is that recipe that we have for the end of the game that will give us that best chance of closing one out, and the more arms you have with some previous success, the more options you have when you get to those late innings.
Adam Wainwright's a great example, Mike, that no matter how old or experienced you may be in any walk of life, you can still learn. I thought he was learning things as he went about his first start and did a really good job of simply pitching.
Yeah, he did a great job. We just had a tough time really putting anything onto Arrieta that day, and you look at a hard line drive out and a hard hit double were the only two hard hit balls that he had the entire game, and he had a bloop that scored a run and a very well executed safety squeeze that scored the second run, and that was enough to really put it on him. But I really appreciate how Adam's going about his business. He's just looking every day of how, like you said, John, how he can get better and use the arsenal of pitches that he has now. But he's still got some life. You still watch the ball come out of his hand, and you see the scoreboard read 92, 93 at times. That's a good fastball. He's now just learning how to use his changeup better. He's using his cutter to both sides. I just see a guy who's mastering the art of pitching and learning to do it with maybe not the same stuff he had a few years ago.
And lastly, your cleanup hitter, Stephen Piscotty, is back in the lineup.
Yeah, happy to have Stephen back, and crazy series of events with his trip around the bases where he was just a baseball magnet, and then just tweaking his knee on a slide the other day. But this is a kid who's been working really hard all spring to get dialed in, and he's getting close, and it's going to be a big part for our lineup to have Stephen right as well as to have the other guys. But Stephen's one of those guys that's proven in this short career already that he has a knack of driving in runs, and we plan on having a lot of guys on base in front of him.
All right, Mike, good luck. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thank you, John.
Manager Chat brought to you by Webster University. We'll take a break, come back, hear from John and Rick. The first word from the booth is next as we get ready for the Cardinals and Nationals. Back in a moment on the Ameren pregame show on the St. Louis Cardinals Radio Network.
Hey fans, this is Michael Waka. Have you ever wanted to take up-close pictures of me, my teammates, and Fred Bird? Now you have your chance. Saturday, April 29th, we face the Reds, and it's photo day at Busch Stadium. You'll be able to go onto the field on a first-come, first-served basis and take up-close photos of your favorite players. It's one of the most popular days of the year. It's photo day on Saturday, April 29th. Tickets are available at cardinals.com/promotions. There's only one Cardinals baseball.
For over a century, Mastercraft Tires have helped drivers in search of great tires at affordable prices to tackle their daily commute or weekend adventures. Now there's a new reason to choose Mastercraft, because for a limited time you'll receive a Mastercraft Visa prepaid card worth up to $60 with the purchase of a new set of 4 Corsair MXT, Corsair HXT, or other qualifying Mastercraft tires. Visit your local Mastercraft tire dealer to learn more today. Visit Trucks Deluxe today.
When your computer's not working, you're not working. Hi, this is Dan from Simplified Computers. Whether your computer is running slow, you have a virus, or it's just time for an upgrade, Simplified Computers is here to help with personal service you won't find at the big box stores. We can set up your wireless network, build, install, and maintain your business's server, or replace your hard drive. For over 18 years, we have served the Champaign-Urbana community with integrity and quality customer service. Call us at 352-5000. Simplified Computers, simply the best.
Vapors e-cigs thinks it's time for you to take a permanent vacation from smoking. Take a permanent vacation away from cigarettes today. You'll smell better, you'll breathe better, and you'll feel better. Plus, you'll have more money than ever when you choose Vapors e-cigs. Come in today and taste the difference with a premium electronic vape. You can get started for less than a carton of cigarettes. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Vapors e-cigs today. Find them at Champaign across the street from Marketplace Mall at 2 West Main Street in Danville. And follow them on Facebook for great deal offers and giveaways.
When your car breaks down, you realize just how much you need it. And when it breaks down, Beaumont Alignment Plus steps up. For routine maintenance like brakes, oil changes, tune-ups, batteries, and tires, you can count on Beaumont Alignment Plus. Bigger issues including alignment, suspension work, starters, alternators, transmission requires specialists. So get to know Beaumont Alignment Plus for your vehicle repairs. With locations on Bloomington Road and Denison Drive in Champaign, you're never far from the help you need. It's good to know the quality service is still affordable at Beaumont Alignment Plus.
At Body and Soul, they take pride in giving you the perfect fit for your athletic shoes. Their team of experts will help you in selecting the style that fits your purpose and your feet. Body and Soul has offered the best prices and best quality for more than 30 years. And they aren't just shoes. Whether it's walking, running, swimming, or biking, or whether it's for you or the whole team, visit Mike or Jed and their experienced staff at Body and Soul, Route 45 Savoy. Call 356-8926 or visit soulsports.com.
We have a gorgeous night tonight in the nation's capital as the Cardinals embark on their first road trip of 2017. Ricky Horton is alongside, and Ricky, a 2-4 homestand where the Cardinals played a game, they were off a day, played a game, off a day, played a game. Now they played 4 in a row. And coming into this, they're 2-4 after the opening homestand and have to take on the division winners in the East last year and then the New York Yankees.
Going to be a tough road trip. 2 very good teams in the Nationals and the Yankees. The Cardinals not really finding their stride yet. It was a terrific spring training. We talked a lot about how good things went down in Jupiter, Florida, but the Cardinal bats just haven't quite come alive yet, but expect that to happen. Cardinals really relying on guys like Steven Piscotty, Yadier Molina, and Johnny Peralta to drive in runs, the table setters to get on, the guys who are good at getting walks and getting on base, and we're talking about Fowler, Diaz, and Carpenter, 1, 2, 3 in the lineup. And we'll just see whether that mix starts here on this road trip. The Cardinals a season ago, very, very good on the road.
Steven Piscotty is back in the lineup. He'll be in the cleanup spot tonight for the Cardinals. And back in the bullpen, it's Trevor Rosenthal with Sam Tuivailala sent back to Memphis.
2 very important players for the Cardinals. On the offensive side, Steven Piscotty, a guy that Mike Matheny wants to see drive in 80-plus runs this year, maybe more than that. And he's still a young player, but I think he's got a big upside. And, of course, Rosenthal is an extra big arm in the bullpen. The Cardinals' bullpen is not quite hitting on all cylinders as well. In the early going, they've had some struggles. They're really having a hard time keeping the ball in the ballpark. And to have Rosenthal out there to have another weapon, I think, is very timely. And it's good to have Trevor back.
And things will get better from the pitching standpoint when they do line up in the bullpen.
Yeah, I think that's an important part of it. They're still trying to feel their way there. The Cardinals have 2 lefties in their bullpen. In Brett Cecil, who had a rough start to the season, but talking with him today, he's not worried about being able to turn that around. He's a veteran guy and is able to put up a lot of numbers, and he's also very durable, as is Kevin Seegers from the left side. Matt Bowman's been good already, and we saw him good in spring training, but everybody else still trying to find their way, including Soon-Hwan Oh. Again, having Rosenthal out there will probably set people in their right slots and make things better.
Set up our pitching matchup tonight. Adam Wainwright against Tanner Roark.
Well, 2 very different pitchers. One, Adam Wainwright, who's been around a long time and has been one of the game's premier pitchers. You think about all-time pitchers really in the last decade, Adam Wainwright's on the short list. And he had a loss his first time out against the Chicago Cubs. He doesn't have the blazing fastball that he did early in his career, but the curveball's still there, and he's just a smart pitcher. He just flat out a smart guy. So I expect Adam to pitch well here. Tanner Roark on the other side, a 16-game winner a season ago with the Nationals. He is a guy that does not give up a lot of hard contact. That's his forte. He does not allow many balls to get hit hard against him. The Cardinals, of course, try to figure that out on the offensive side, so that's going to be a battle for us to watch here tonight. But Roark, a little younger. Of course, he's got his career ahead of him. Wainwright really just staying in the middle of that Cardinal rotation as an important part of what the Cardinals do, and he really does lead that staff in the clubhouse.
Mike Matheny's Cardinals at Dusty Baker's Washington Nationals. The first of three with the play-by-play coming up in just a while, Chris.
Yeah, and Mike Claiborne with Dusty Baker next on the Amarin Pregame Show on the Cardinals Radio Network.
With unlimited data from AT&T, you can stream your favorite content almost anywhere. Side effects may include, but are not limited to, compulsion to answer entertainment-related questions.
Actually, the whole thing was a dream.
Increased desire to share spoilers.
He marries Carol.
Sports-induced public celebration.
Yes!
Mastery of entertainment-themed trivia.
What are teen sci-fi dramedies?
And repeated late-night use of the phrase.
Just one more episode.
The unlimited effect. Ask your local AT&T retailer why unlimited data is right for you. Then get unlimited data from AT&T.
Introducing AT&T's best unlimited deal ever. Unlimited data, less than $40 per month per line with 4 lines. And never pay overages, ever.
Price for AT&T Unlimited Choice Plan after auto pay and paperless bill discount. Discount starts within 2 bills. Data speeds limited to max of 3 Mbps. Video streaming limited to standard definition quality after 22 gigabytes of data usage. AT&T may slow speeds. Other charges and restrictions apply. See att.com/unlimited for details.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
You can fly champagne. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly champagne. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You've got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly champagne. You can fly Willard Airport. There's a time for work, there's a time for play. There's a time to do things you don't do every day. There's a place to go for tools and machines and people with knowledge about these things. We've been here since 53 to meet your rental needs. When the time comes, we're the place for everything. Rental City.
Rosati's Pizza is serving up a special just for Lent. Fish. Yes, a pizza place serving fish. What a novel concept. Stop by Rosati's during Lent for a fish sandwich, fries, and a drink for just $8.49. Every Friday through Good Friday at Rosati's Pizza. Oh, you can still get your favorite pizza, but for Lent, it's all about fish. Every Friday, get a fish sandwich, fries, and a drink for just $8.49. Rosati's Pizza. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. 701 South Gregory in Urbana. 328-2334 and online at myrosatis.com/Urbana.
It's the Washington Nationals and the St. Louis Cardinals. We have a chance to visit with their manager, Dusty Baker. First of all, long time no see. How'd you like that spring setup?
I tell you, I loved our facility. I liked your proximity. I liked the fact that you're splitting a complex with the Florida Marlins, and the travel was so much better. And I'm sure you guys are probably glad to see us too.
Man, you like our kissing cousins now.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Tell me about your ball club. I mean, we watched them a lot in the spring, but we didn't see the everyday lineup as much as we're going to see now. So,
my ball club's good. We're trying to get our bullpen together. It's together, but we're trying to slot them at the right place at the right time. And, we got a new closer in Blake Trinan. We have some other guys that are out there. Coda Glover's new. We got Enny Romero's new. So whenever you got new bodies, it changes the equation and the personality of your team in the bullpen. And those guys are a unit that has to stay together, has to feel like they're together, and they're kind of a separate unit within the ball club, and they're very, very important. But this series, Trey Turner's not available. He's going on a DL today. He pulled a hammy the other day. And especially with this new 10-day DL, which I love, they don't have to miss 2 weeks, or you don't have to play short. And so he'll be back. He only missed 7 games, which is pretty good. And especially a couple off days in there. And but we had some guys swinging the bat pretty well. Some guys, Jason Worth swinging the bat pretty good. Zimmerman swinging the bat well, especially for so early in the season. Bryce Harper, is Bryce Harper. He's probably one of the most dangerous men in the league, and we play good defense. And, I think that's number one. That's the thing that we stress the most here is probably defense. And, defense is something that I've always taken pride in my teams playing.
And we've always seen that. You're right about every team you've been with. How do you get to players at this stage? Because everybody is hit happy. Everybody wants to live in the cage. What do you try and do to get to stress how important defense can be?
Well, number one is that, defense is work. Everybody can get better at defense if you're willing to put in the work. Hitting, you might go from 235 to 240, 250 max. Basically, every once in a while you'll get a guy that's a 220 hitter going to hit 290 or whatever. But most of the time, the same guys that are hitting have been hitting.
What he is.
Yeah, they've been hitting all their lives. I don't care how they start. I don't care how they end up. They're usually going to end up pretty close to within 10, 15 points of their career average. But that defense, it takes pride. It takes pride. It takes a lot of work, and it takes the fact that you can't take your at-bats on the field with you. And the thing that I stress with my guys here is that, hey, man, you don't win games on defense, but you can lose them. And if they don't score like Moses Malone, I'll never forget that Moses Malone, he goes, you can't score if you don't have the ball. He's talking about rebounding, which is defense. And so, defense, takes a lot of work and a lot of pride.
As a manager, one of the things you have to have is patience. As always, thank you for your time, and hopefully we can do this in October together.
Well, thank you. Hey, I'd love that, man. And I'm pulling for you guys over there in that division, but not this week.
Hey, Cardinal fans, there's another MVP in our community, Rankin Jordan Pediatric Bridge Hospital in St. Louis. Rankin Jordan transitions kids with complex illnesses and injuries from acute care to home. They not only work with the child, but also the families to make the return home possible. Rankin Jordan is the only pediatric bridge hospital in the country using care beyond the bedside to get kids out of their beds and back to living. To learn more about Rankin Jordan, their inpatient and outpatient programs, or to find out how you can give, visit rankinjordan.org.
And the Cardinals have won the game on a home run by the Wizard.
Hey, Cardinal fans, Ozzie Smith here for Ameren, Illinois. It's easy to be an energy-saving whiz. Start by installing a qualifying smart thermostat in your home. You'll get cash back and save up to 15% on your energy bills. Ameren, Illinois energy efficiency programs put more power in your hands. That's energy at work. To learn more, visit amerenillinois.com/programs.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
Meetings large or small, the Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham in Champaign can accommodate them all. The newly renovated 9,000 square foot banquet space can accommodate all your events. Let the Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham be the location of your next wedding, conference, workshop, or anything in between. The dedicated staff take care of every detail of your event to make it memorable and hassle-free for you. For special offers on weddings, rehearsal dinners, and showers, call a representative now at Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham, 398-3400. Leave the planning and execution of your special event to the team at Hawthorne Suites by Wyndham.
When your computer's not working, you're not working. Hi, this is Dan from Simplified Computers. Whether your computer is running slow, you have a virus, or it's just time for an upgrade, Simplified Computers is here to help with personal service you won't find at the big box stores. We can set up your wireless network, build, install, and maintain your business's server, or replace your hard drive. For over 18 years, we have served the Champaign-Urbana community with integrity and quality customer service. Call us at 352-5000. Simplified Computers, simply the best.
Got a question? Talk to our experts now at StevieJay.com. Experts are there, ready to answer your questions for free. Home improvement questions? Our experts from Kramer Siding and Windows can help. Thinking you could use some extra help with landscaping? Think Country Arbor's Nursery. Experts are online, waiting to talk to you at StevieJay.com. Talk to Dr. Shu and our experts from West Main Dental to keep your smile bright. They are the Stevie J Broadcasting experts. Ask an expert today at StevieJay.com. That's StevieJay.com.
It's hard, in the beginning, we home, we lost a couple of games, but nothing to try to worry about it, Like I said, long season, we got to win, we got to lose some games, so I know it's really tough for now, but we got to roll now and play hard.
It's 6 games. Obviously, we want to get off to a good start, but we're not stressing, pressuring over it. 6 games, we got a long way to go.
Yeah, just 6 games in. That's Johnny Peralta and Jed Jerko as the Cardinals hit the road. They were so good away from Busch Stadium last year. Can they put together, like John Rooney said, 1 game at a time and start to string some wins together? We'll find out in just a bit as Adam Wainwright takes on Tanner Roark, the first of 3 games in D.C. for the Cardinals and the Nationals. Sean Rooney and Rick Horton have it for you next. This has been the Ameren pregame show as we get ready for baseball. Chris Raby, along with Mike Anderson, who's back in our Cardinal Network studios from Cardinals Nation Restaurant inside Ballpark Village. Baseball's next on the Cardinals Radio Network.
When your computer's not working, you're not working. Hi, this is Dan from Simplified Computers. Whether your computer is running slow, you have a virus, or it's just time for an upgrade, Simplified Computers is here to help with personal service you won't find at the big box stores. We can set up your wireless network, build, install, and maintain your business's server, or replace your hard drive. For over 18 years, we have served the Champaign-Urbana community with integrity and quality customer service. Call us at 352-5000. Simplified Computers, simply the best.
Welcome back to How Well Do You Know Your Meat? Now back to the trivia. The freshest meat comes from your local grocery store. True or false?
True.
No. Contestant number 2.
It's false. The freshest meat in town comes from the U of I Meat Sales Room off of Florida Avenue in Urbana.
Yes, that's correct. You're a winner.
For the freshest cuts of meat in town, visit the U of I Meat Sales Room. Open Tuesday and Thursday from 1 to 5:30 and Friday from 8 until 1. Just off Florida on South Maryland in Urbana.
Rosati's Pizza is serving up a special just for Lent. Fish. Yes, a pizza place serving fish. What a novel concept. Stop by Rosati's during Lent for a fish sandwich, fries, and a drink for just $8.49. Every Friday through Good Friday at Rosati's Pizza. Oh, you can still get your favorite pizza, but for Lent, it's all about fish. Every Friday, get a fish sandwich, fries, and a drink for just $8.49. Rosati's Pizza. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. 701 South Gregory in Urbana. 328-2334 and online at myrosatis.com/Urbana.
At Body and Soul, they take pride in giving you the perfect fit for your athletic shoes. Their team of experts will help you in selecting the style that fits your purpose and your feet. Body and Soul has offered the best prices and best quality for more than 30 years. And they aren't just shoes. Whether it's walking, running, swimming, or biking, or whether it's for you or the whole team, visit Mike or Jed and their experienced staff at Body and Soul, Route 45 Savoy. Call 356-8926 or visit soulsports.com.
Fly ball. It's a goner!
St. Louis Cardinal Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By your quality Ford dealers, the official vehicles of the St. Louis Cardinals. By Snooks Delivered. Order groceries online with snooksdelivers.com. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. By Shelter Insurance. Find an agent near you at shelterinsurance.com. For your auto, home, life, and renter's insurance needs, we're your shield, we're your shelter. By Explore St. Louis. Learn more about all the great things to do in St. Louis by visiting explorestlouis.com. By Central Bank, the hometown bank of the St. Louis Cardinals. By Central Missouri's beautiful Lake of the Ozarks. voted the best recreational lake in the nation. Plan your vacation at funlake.com. By Weekends Only Furniture and Mattress, a proud sponsor of the St. Louis Cardinals. And by Chick-fil-A. Visit them today at any one of their 13 St. Louis area locations. Now, St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
Welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball from our nation's capital. The Redbirds kick off their road schedule here tonight, the first of three with the Eastern Division defending champion Washington Nationals. The Cardinals under Mike Matheny had a terrific road record a season ago, winning 48 games on the road. They had their troubles at home, and they also had some troubles in the first series of the season at home. The Cardinals finishing with a 2-4 record at home. Very good starting pitching, but had some struggles offensively and with their bullpen. This is Ricky Horton. I'll be alongside John Rooney again this season for Cardinal Road Games, and we've got plenty of exciting moments ahead to add to the great tradition of St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Let's take a look at our pitching matchup here for Game 1 of the series. It's brought to you by Missouri Farmers Care. Join the conversation on how today's food is grown and raised at MissouriFarmersCare.com. The veteran right-hander Adam Wainwright will pitch Game 1 for St. Louis. He lost to the Cubs in his first start of the season, though he pitched very well. Went 5 innings, had 6 strikeouts, and gave up just 2 runs, but had no run support. Wainwright was 13-9 a season ago. And when you look at some of the game's best, he is up among the leaders in his career earned run average. Only Clayton Kershaw and Felix Hernandez with better ERAs lifetime than Adam Wainwright among baseball's starting pitchers. Wainwright will be making start number 255 in his terrific career. Tanner Roark is a right-hander. He was 16-10 a year ago with an ERA of 2.83. He threw over 200 innings last year, so he was a workhorse. And he won his first start of the 2017 season, and he's also won a gold medal this year. He was a member of the U.S. team that won the World Baseball Classic. Wainwright and Roark are our pitchers. The starting lineups for you next.
Oh, hey, hi, hello there. It's me, your air conditioner. You can call me AC if you want, but Mr. Conditioner is my dad's name. Okay, listen, you may have noticed that I'm using a lot of energy right now, and that's why you need to call an expert. Yep, the experts can give me a precision tune-up, so you'll save up to 30% on energy bills, and I won't have to work so hard, which is great because I'm about to pass out.
At Chief Bauer Service Experts, save $41 off an AC Precision Tune-Up. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit chiefbauer.com. For expert service guaranteed.
Call 866-EXPERTS.
Vapors E-Cigs thinks it's time for you to take a permanent vacation from smoking. Take a permanent vacation away from cigarettes today. You'll smell better, you'll breathe better, and you'll feel better. Plus, you'll have more money than ever when you choose Vapors E-Cigs. Come in today and taste the difference with a premium electronic vape. You can get started for less than a carton of cigarettes. So what are you waiting for? Stop by Vapors E-Cigs today. Find them at Champaign across the street from Marketplace Mall at 2 West Main Street in Danville. And follow them on Facebook for great deal offers and giveaways.
You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport. You can fly Champaign. You can fly. Our airport is your doorway to the sky. So pack your things, spread your wings. You got business to do. People who expect you. You can fly Champaign. You can fly Willard Airport.
Got a question? Talk to our experts now at StevieJay.com. Experts are there, ready to answer your questions for free. Home improvement questions. Our experts from Land, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing can help. Need help with home remodeling? Talk to our service experts from Flooring Services, where the world is at your feet. Need to pay for those home improvements? Talk to our financial experts from the U of I Community Credit Union. They are the Stevie J Broadcasting experts. Ask an expert today at StevieJay.com. That's StevieJay.com.
Welcome back to Nationals Park. Tanner Roark is the starter here tonight for the Nationals, and he is making his way towards the Nats dugout, which is on the first